All right. Is this working? I hope so. Okay. Let's get the chat out here. We got that. And let's get the chat. Where the chat? Is the chat. All right. I would not like to moderate my chat. Let freedom ring. Let freedom ring. La 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 la. All right. Okay. So I think this is playing now. And what we're gonna do is we are going to start our discussion on the potential of an upcoming Marvel vs. Capcom game. A lot of people have been talking about it since Capcom announced their upcoming Marvel vs. Capcom collection. And, it's an exciting time to be a Marvel vs. Capcom fan. At one point, there was no hope. There was very little hope that, there could be a new Marvel vs. Capcom game. But a lot of streamers, people in the fighting game community have been talking about, the potential for a possible new Marvel's Capcom game. And so I wanted to chime in, give my opinion on the characters I think that should get in or that will get in. Um, two two content creators that made their videos and spoke their piece over the past few years. Maximilian Dood and Thorgi, Professor Thorgi, or his other YouTube channel, Thorgi Arcade. I put a link to their respective their respective takes on the fantasy Marvel's Capcom roster. And with my below novice skills, I wanted to do my part. So I went over to the tier list maker, the tiermaker.com. They have a whole list of Marvel and Capcom characters. Not every character, but a lot. And I'm gonna be plucking from that to to make up my roster. Um, Over here, I have a very crudely made Marvel vs. Capcom grid. I am not gonna be filling up this entire grid. Hell no. It's a lot of slots here. If I did my maths correctly, there's a lot of slots here. We got 6 across and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 down. So 6 times 9, giggity. That's a lot. I will not be filling in every one of these boxes, but I definitely wanted to have enough boxes and not too few, even if they're not all aligned or the same size. But we're gonna make it work. We're gonna make it work. Okay, so don't worry about it. We're gonna make it work. Um, so yeah, before we start, let me just explain what my rationale is when it comes to what characters I think are going to make it in and which aren't. Matter of fact, I had music here. Let me see if this works. It's not all gonna be chill music. It's gonna be a mix. So the tone is not always going to match what I'm talking about. Oh, that's an intro music for Marvel's Capcom. I think that works. I might have to lower it though. It might be too loud. All right. So um that is loud. Again, below novice skills is what we're exhibiting here. How do I lower the volume? There we go. Okay, so what is my criteria for who I'm picking? Obviously, there are going to be some staple characters from previous Marvel vs. Capcom games. So there's certain characters that are just gonna get in. Period. You know. Then you have characters who I feel like were missing from the last iteration of this game, which is Marvel's Capcom Infinite. So I'm gonna lean heavy into the X-Men. Uh, for a lot of these picks because I think that fans made it very clear that that's what they wanted. Uh, Out of all the things that they wanted out of Marvel's Capcom Infinite, was the lack of X-Men characters. But the beloved Peter Rosas, I think his name was Combo Fiend, who fighting game community member, went on to work for Capcom and stuff. He got trashed a lot online when he mentioned how certain characters are functions. Like he mentioned how people like Wolverine, but what you really want is a character who does what Wolverine does, sort of like a Black Panther. Like he's not wrong, but when you promote Marvel vs. Capcom, with Cyclops and Ryu shaking hands, like giving each other a pound. It is about the characters. It's about those epic moments, the crossover characters, seeing certain matchups, and it's what got a lot of people into the series. Is just I want to play as Wolverine. I want to play as Gambit or whatever. So a lot of these picks are going to be catered to the idea that you need certain types of characters, not just the character, but obviously character trumps type. Okay, it's more important. Um, then also we got we got some money in the chat. Yeah, I thought we had some money in the chat. I don't know how to scroll. Hold on. Oh, what's up, Al? Al is watching. Welcome to the chat, my boy. So yeah, so we're gonna pick characters that fill certain functions, but that lean heavy towards X-Men because I feel like Capcom wants to make up for the fact that MVCI did not have a lot of X-Men, and I think the last part of the criteria is gonna be like which kind of characters or franchises they want to prop up, because of what's going on in the MCU or in comics or in the case of Capcom, like games. All right, so popularity is gonna mix into it as well, and promoting characters, and last part. I am obviously for people that know me, I am way more familiar with the Marvel characters than I am the Capcom characters. So I'm not gonna ask for forgiveness if I don't mention particular Capcom characters, or if I miss things on Capcom. You could comment either live in the chat right now as I'm streaming, or later on when you watch, put something in the comments, or more than likely you know me because I don't have a huge audience here, and you just hit me up and we can fight. Okay, so without further ado, let's get this started and start filling out this here grid. Okay, so we're gonna start off with one of the obvious characters, and we'll start off on the Capcom side. I mean, they're front and center in all the promotions for this. They're the poster child for all things Capcom, the most popular character, only second to maybe one or two other characters in the entire company. I'm of course talking about one Ryu. So Ryu is going to get into the Capcom side of the roster. I think that's fairly easy to predict that one. Ryu is the first pick for the Capcom side. Now, you might be thinking, okay, if Ryu's the first pick for the Capcom side, that must mean who the person he's shaking hands with gotta go obviously on the other side and all the promo art. Unfortunately, even though I am a huge fan of the character you might be thinking of, he's not in the eyes of many Marvel's Capcom fans. He's not the face of the Marvel's Capcom lexicon. He's not, it's this guy. This guy over here. It's the guy who's just in a movie that's probably gonna make $1 billion by the end of this week. One James Howlett, Wolverine. And so James Howlett Wolverine is the second character to go up on here. And why did Ryu come up again? That's embarrassing. Let's go back to here and let's make sure this time we pick up a James Howlett. Logan. There he is. There's Logan, the anchor being of the Marvel vs. Capcom universe, if you will. Spoiler, spoiler, spoiler. All right. So now we have two characters to start this off. Ryu and Wolverine. I mean, I feel like they gotta be in it. You know what I mean? They gotta be in here. They're the ones that a lot of people look to pick when it comes to the Marvel vs. Capcom games. All right. Looking here, we have a few viewers. That's cool. Appreciate that. Thank you for stopping by. We're gonna continue here. I just wanted to. There we go. Put the chat on the side. Okay. All right. So now let's stay on the Marvel side. There's another character who, like, I feel like it's super obvious that needs to be in here in terms of popularity, in terms of just a character that everybody knows and loves. They're not necessarily the best Marvel vs. Capcom character, like not a top tier character in terms of the fighting games, but you cannot talk Marvel if you're not also acknowledging the existence of one Peter Parker. So Spider-Man is going to also be on our Marvel vs. Capcom list. Spidey, he's going to be number 2 for the Marvel side. All right. Now, another thing I wanted to mention, when I'm making these rosters, I'm doing it with the philosophy that I think they're going to think of the teams in terms of trios, right? So as we go on, I'm going to highlight, like headcanon teams that might be the logic behind why Capcom is choosing said characters. For those watching the chat right now, is the music too low, distracting? Let me know because I can adjust it as needed. But the music will stay. There will be music because listening to my voice alone, I don't think that's going to carry this potentially hour plus long stream of me talking nerd shit. Okay, so we got two characters on the Marvel side with Spider-Man and Wolverine. We got a staple character on the Capcom side, Ryu, very obvious. We're going to breeze through the first groupings of this because a lot of these choices are obvious. We're going to stick with the Street Fighters. I also am hoping that when they put in these characters into this version, at least for the Capcom side, that some of them are like tied not just to the character in general, but like maybe particular iterations of the character. So like Ryu, give us Fighting Street Ryu, to Street Fighter 1 Ryu to represent the origins of the series, right? You're gonna give us Chun-Li, who's our next character, who's the next character I'm picking here. You're gonna give us Chun-Li, let it be her best iteration, which is possibly the Street Fighter 3 iteration. She was super top tier. All right, so we got Chun-Li here as our second Capcom character. We're gonna stick to the Capcom side, and I'm going to add another staple. No, actually no. Let's throw our first curveball. Let's throw our first trio in. We got Street Fighter with Ryu. We got Chun Li. Who would represent Street Fighter 2? How could we represent Street Fighter 2? What character would represent Street Fighter 2? You know, possibly everybody's favorite Hobo Shoto. Of course, I'm talking about one. If I can find him here, yeah, one Ken Masters. All right, Ken Masters will represent like Street Fighter 2. So Ken Masters, we got 3 Street Fighters over here, and Ken is part of the first 3 characters I think Capcom is going to consider when making this new game. All right, let's switch over now to the Marvel side. Another staple Marvel character that has to show up, I think, in this whole thing is a character who is beloved and who is one of perhaps second only to Wolverine, the second most popular Marvel versus Capcom character in existence. And I'm talking, of course, about one Eric Lencher, Magneto. All right, so we gotta put Magneto on here. Whoop, it happened again. I did the thing again. Rookie mistakes. Rookie mistakes. I apologize. But Magneto's going next. And it's appropriate that what's playing in the background right now is Storm's music, Omega level. You know, Magneto's Omega level. He's going up on here. I haven't talked about the trios yet for the Marvel side, but I'll get to that. Don't you worry. I will get to that in a second. All right, so we have 3 characters for each side, and don't get me wrong. If we were playing this hypothetical Marvel's Capcom game right now, this would be a hell. This would be a hell of a 3v3. But on the Capcom side, we're gonna put in our first new coming character, and this is the first character I feel like needs to go in promotionally, you know, to promo their other games. We're gonna skip Street Fighter 4, and we're gonna go to Street Fighter 5, a character that they introduced in 5, and I think that representing Street Fighter 5 is going to be a character that's not loved by a lot of people, but Capcom has been pushing them to the brink, like to in our face. And I'm talking about one Luke. I think that Capcom's gonna push Luke and put Luke in this game, and there's nothing we can do about it. Luke will be the next Capcom character added to the roster. I don't want Luke, but I understand if they went Luke. You see what I'm saying? And it's not in order, but we got, you know, we could put them in order. We got Street Fighter 1 represented, Street Fighter 2. All right, we got Chun-Li representing 3, and then we got Luke. But you know what? Since I said Luke was representing 5, even though he's the main character for 6, DK, I'm leaving that spot open for 4 because there's a particular character I'm gonna put in there, but not right now. All right, let's go over now to the Marvel side. Another staple and another X-Men is going to be added on here because I just think they're going to make it over because they've been in almost all the other ones, and you can't run a Magneto team without representing another Omega level. And you heard her theme music from X-Men 97 before. I'm talking about one Aurora Monroe. Aurora Monroe, that's hard to say. We're going with Storm. All right, so Storm, I think, is going to make it in easily into Marvel vs. Capcom 4 or whatever the hell they end up calling it. I think Storm will be in there like swimwear for sure. So we got Storm, Magneto, Spider-Man, Wolverine. We already have a team X-Men if we want to put them together. But you know what? Spidey's looking lonely. Spidey's looking lonely. And I'm gonna deep cut here and go back to the character list. And my next pick is going to be a Spidey related character that was rumored to have already been worked on when they were doing music is fine. All right, thanks, Al. A character that they purportedly were already working on and was going to be added in if it had a longer lifespan. I'm talking about Marvel's Capcom 3, Ultimate Marvel's Capcom 3. It's a character that, again, rumors were always circling that they had been working on adding them. A very popular fan request, and we're going to put them in our new game. And I'm talking about, of course, one Otto Octavius. Dr. Octopus is going to be a new character on the Marvel vs. Capcom Marvel side. So we got Doc Ock being added on here. I think Doc Ock will make it in as a new character for the Marvel vs. Capcom side of things. All right. So we got Doc Ock, Storm, Magneto, Spider-Man, and Wolverine, Ryu, Ken Masters, Chun-Li, Blank Blank, and Luke. Let's pick another Capcom character, a staple Capcom character, arguably their mascot if it's not Ryu. All right, we're going to go now over to the letter M's. I think you know who I'm going to pick here. I'm going with Old True Blue Mega Man. Mega Man is going to be in this game in some way, shape, or form. I know that Mega Man X is sexier, perhaps for some people, but we're gonna lean into the nostalgia and we're gonna add regular old blue boy Mega Man to this list. Now, I'm gonna add Mega Man to this list, all right? And staying on the Capcom side, a character that I think will make it in alongside Mega Man. I'm adding another new character. And I think it's because I don't believe MODOK will return. MODOK was a very difficult to control character. But if you were able to control him well, you put the work in. I don't think we're going to have a MODOK, but I think Capcom is going to give us another character who can move like MODOK. Who can maybe in their little tiny ship with a skull on it move like MODOK. And I think that we're going to get right next to Dr. Octopus. We're going to get Dr. Wily. I think we're going to get Dr. Wily on the Capcom side. I really do. I really believe this. Okay, so we got Dr. Wily, and we'll put him right next to Mega Man over here. I think we're going to get a flying suit, a flying ship Dr. Wily. I really do. Well, don't worry, we're not done with Mega Man characters. There's more Mega Man characters that we will be adding, and I will come back to the Street Fighter line of thinking in a second. Matter of fact, let me just move Mega Man here. I'll move him over because we got 6 Street Fighters, so I'm gonna go into Street Fighter as well. All right, so let's go over to the Marvel side. Marvel side of things. I think there's no better time now if an MF Doom song is playing to add one of the other more popular Marvel vs. Capcom characters of all time, the Marvel vs. Capcom meme god himself, Robert Downey Jr.'s Doctor Doom. So we're gonna go ahead and add Doom to the list for show. Victor Vaughn is going to be on here. If you have any suggestions, I got 4 viewers, whoever y'all are. If you have any suggestions in the chat, feel free to add your 25 cents, your 2 cents, and we'll consider it. But you gotta add Doom. And if they don't introduce Doom or have the opening Marvel credits playing this song or any other MF Doom song, MCU, Feige, I'm talking to you, then you have missed an opportunity. The people want it. You gotta reference MF Doom. By the way, I thought this was the instrumental version, so I apologize for the for the snot bubbles. Let's move to the next song. All right, that's a Marvel vs. Capcom song. All right, staying on the Marvel side of things and staying with the green theme, I think that there's an obvious green character that needs to make it, and he's our first big boy, big body character. We're gonna add Jade Jaw himself. We're gonna go ahead and add the Incredible Hulk. Hulk will make it into this game for sure, and I don't even think Hulk will be the only Hulk in this game, but we'll get to that. All right, so we're adding Bruce Banner, another popular Marvel's Capcom character. Gotta have Bruce. But you just have to have him. You know? Hulk has to be there. So we got Hulk. Hulk added, but strength for strength, strength for strength. Who can we go on the Capcom side to add? Let's add another staple Capcom character. And you know what? It's gonna be another brand new character to the Marvel's Capcom roster of fighters. And I think it's a highly requested character that people wanted for a long time, and it's going to represent another iconic Capcom franchise. I'm speaking of none other than Mr. Leather Jacket himself. Mr. I'm rolling into your town, and I know speak of the Spanish, but I will save the president's daughter. All the hints are laid out for you. We're gonna get Leon Kennedy. I think Leon Kennedy is going to be representing the Resident Evil franchise for Marvel's Capcom. Let's call it 4, whatever the next Marvel's Capcom game is. I think we're gonna finally get a Leon Kennedy in here. I think we're gonna get him. So we're gonna get a Leon Kennedy representing for Resident Evil in the next Marvel's Capcom game. I think we're gonna get Leon. He's so popular. So many people have been requesting Leon. All right, they've been calling for Leon. I'm not gonna do the impersonation, but the way that his rescued companion in Resident Evil 4 calls out for his name. Okay, so we're gonna get Leon. Filling out this roster, staying on the Capcom side. Another franchise that needs to be represented for Capcom, which I think is you know really important, and it's also possibly a staple character to the series, if you will. I'm scrolling really slow so you can get a look at. There's a lot of characters on the list. The person that put this list together did a hell of a job, putting in a lot of characters with some high quality visuals, and I really appreciate the work that they put in. I'll include the link to this tier list, this tier maker list, in the description of this video. I'll update the description to make sure that I add them. But we're gonna add now our next Capcom character, and that's going to be a character who's had many games, 5 games, I think, at least at this point released, and I'm talking about one Dante. I think Dante became a staple character for a lot of people, not top tier, but super exciting, and Dante is going to be in this game. So here we are adding Dante. Dante, I believe, will be in the next Marvel vs. Capcom game. And you know what? From adding Dante, I think there's somebody else that I might as well just go ahead and add, because they're gonna be in the game, and they were a top tier staple of Marvel 3. No surprise here. We're going all the way down to the V's, people. We're gonna add Virgil. It's not that I want to see him, but I'd be stupid if I didn't think he was gonna show up. He was just too damn good. He was just too damn good in Marvel's Capcom 3. He's going on the list here. Virgil's gonna be on there. Now, some might think, hey, it should be just DLC. Yeah, but there's gonna be plenty of DLC characters. Plenty of DLC characters. But if you know, I'm being completely naive and hopeful. I'm thinking DLC characters are not where they're gonna try to make their bread and butter with this game. It's gonna be in the game sales and in downloading and getting different character skins. You know, like different versions of the characters, the aesthetics. I don't think they're gonna push too hard on separating the community by who owns characters and who doesn't. I know it's naive, but that's what I'm hoping. Now, Dante and Virgil are part of a DMC Devil May Cry duo, and let's keep it to the duos and staple characters on the Marvel side, and let's just put up 2 that we know are going to be on there just off the strength of their characters alone. One Robert Downey Jr. is not enough; you need 2, and so I think you know who I'm going to go with here. The arguably the anchor being of the entire MCU. All right, talking about one Anthony Stark. We're gonna go with Iron Man. Iron Man's got to be in this game for sure. I don't think that's a surprise to anyone. I'm gonna put him in there, and another Marvel staple that I think is gonna go in there, and I think it shouldn't be a surprise, is gonna be, his Civil War antagonist. If you're a Tony supporter, we got Iron Man right there, but we're gonna also go ahead and add one Steve Rogers. I think Cap is going to be in this game for sure. Let's see if we can find Cap. Captain America. There he is. Captain America will be in this game. I'm gonna change that music in a second because this feels like an in memoriam. This is actually a celebration of what could be. This is not sadness. Oh, it changed itself. There you go. All right, so Cap will be in this game. We're gonna get Cap in this game, and that's gonna be cool. This is Quickman's music. That's cool, like a rock version. Okay. All right, Cap is gonna be in this game. Tony, Cap, Hulk, 3 Avengers in here, and that'll be a hell of a trio, you know. But you know what? Let's cheat. Even though it's not a rule, but let's cheat. Another character I feel like is gonna be in here off the strength of the MCU alone. All right, Storm can't be the only Marvel woman on this side of things. We gotta add another Marvel woman, and I think that we're gonna get a character that is a captain in her own right. She's not the most popular in the MCU, but the MCU, has tried to make a point of stating her importance. We want to get Carol Danvers. They already have um they already have Captain Marvel in Marvel's Capcom Infinite, so it's not like they have to work from scratch if they want to just bring her in like that. But Captain Marvel is a huge character um, in the MCU, and strong female character. Definitely think they're gonna put her in there just off of that alone. Okay, so we have so far 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We have 10 Marvel characters and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Not 10 Capcom characters. So we got to get another Capcom character in here. What Capcom character can we get in here that will help to round out our roster? Now we need some female woman power on this side too. And let's go back to the Street Fighter. Let's go back to the Street Fighter theme, and we're gonna pick a character to represent Street Fighter 4, a very popular character, and we're gonna go with Jury. I think we're gonna see Jury in this game. Now I know you might be thinking, "Whoa, we had C Viper last time. Why don't they just bring back C Viper?" You definitely can bring back C Viper. Um, I would love to see C Viper brought back just so we can get more combos from. I'm trying to think of his name. It was a character. It was a player who used to do like these crazy C Viper combos. Marlon Pie. That's the guy. I'd love to see C Viper come back just so Marlon Pie could play. But we're gonna go with Jury. Jury is super popular. Jury will represent Street Fighter 4 for us on the Capcom side. Let's stay on the Capcom side, and I'm gonna go down here and pick another new character that I think will show up. Let me see if they have them here to represent a Capcom franchise that has seen a lot of success um, with their most recent uh, addition to the series, and I'm talking about the Arisen. The Arisen, basically the character that you are embodying in the game Dragon's Dogma. All right, so Dragon's Dogma, which just came out, another addition to the series recently that saw some commercial success. I think we're gonna see a version of a Dragon's Dogma character. Now I don't know what the move set is gonna be of this character. I have no idea what the Arisen's move set will be, but I think that it'll be exciting. And it might be a situation where you can pick, like a female or a male version of the character. They might have that option. So, yeah, I'm gonna go with the Arisen from Dragon's Dogma. Okay, let's stay on the Capcom side. Stay on the Capcom side, and you know what? Let's revisit Resident Evil. Let's revisit Resident Evil, a super popular character, another new character. I think that they would add. I was gonna add this character, but I thought maybe they would save her for like DLC because I think it'd be a huge DLC character. But nah, let's pretend that they're gonna be generous and they're gonna give us Lady. Wait, I looked up the pronunciation. I know it's Lady Lady D. All right, I forgot how to pronounce Lady D, the tall lady from Resident Evil who tortures you and who people invented mods for that I will not go into detail and describe. There's no reason why you should be playing a first-person Resident Evil game where lady walking around in thongs. You know, that's pretty crazy. But they did it, and they did it because of her. You know, it's pretty crazy. But Lady Dimitrescu, her, she's gonna be in the game for sure. And she's a big body character because she's really tall, so she has to go toe to toe with other big body characters. Her and Hulk are gonna have some words. All right, so that's a tall character there. Okay, let's you know what? I feel like sticking on the Capcom side. Let's stay on the Capcom side, and let's pick another character. Let's go into a series that is very popular, fighting game series, and this character almost always shows up in these versus games, and because they're very beloved, and like Lady D, they're hot to a lot of people, and I'm talking, of course, about the succubus, the succubi, the succubi. This is Morgan. Morgan's gonna be in the Marvel vs. Capcom game for sure. Uh, Very prominent in the MVCI DK story that they had in almost every cutscene because people love Morgan. I think Morgan was in that game, right? Am I bugging? Yeah, Morgan was in the game. Let me make sure though. Oh yeah, hell yeah, Morgan was in the game. All right. Okay, so we have now more Capcom characters. We got some Marvel characters. Let's go to some staple Marvel characters that I'm pretty sure are gonna make it into the game. We're gonna go back to the X-Men, and this is a character who should be in the marquee, but isn't. But they're on the charts up in terms of popularity with a lot of people, and it's long overdue. I'm talking, of course, about the guy shaking Ryu's hand in all the promo stuff. I'm finally getting around to adding my boy Scott Summers, Cyclops, leader of the X-Men. Cyclops is going to be in this Marvel vs. Capcom game. I don't think that is a question. For sure, we're going to get the return of Scott Summers, and I'm sure that'll make players like Justin Wong very happy, as they have many a time in Marvel vs. Capcom 2 shown you just how cool Cyclops can be, even rolling Dolo on the Evo stage. For sure, Cyclops is going to be in this game, and he is not the last X-Man. Let's just go ahead and add another X-Man who's going to be returning, I believe, to Marvel vs. Capcom. And if you don't know who he is, you better remember it, okay? Because he about to make a name for himself. You know what I'm talking about. If you've been in the movie theater, you know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about, of course, one Remy Labo. We're gonna get the Thieves Guild member himself. We're gonna get Gambit back. Like, are you kidding me? We're gonna get Gambit. Gambit will return in Marvel vs. Capcom in this new game that I am hypothesizing and praying for. We're gonna get Gambit. He's too damn cool, and he's been just lighting it up on the little screen and the big screen. Gambit will be returning for damn sure. And speaking of characters who are gonna be who have been shining on the little screen and the big screen, and you know what? I'm gonna add a new character here. A character long overdue. Long overdue. Um, should have probably been in Marvel's Capcom 3, but wasn't. I'm gonna go and I'm gonna add him before his brother, just to show him the additional respect. Okay? I'm talking about the adopted son of Odin himself. This is a really shitty picture of him, but we'll take it. I'm talking about Loki. I think that Loki is a super popular character, and I think that Capcom will add Loki Laufeyson to Marvel's Capcom. I think that he's going to be in the game. We know that the MCU loves him. He had a great 2-season series, and he's just super popular. He's super popular, and he's going to be in there repping Asgard and holding all the timelines together. Okay, so I think Loki's going to make it. He's another new character to Marvel vs. Capcom, but I believe that they will make it. All right. So let's go over now to the Capcom side. On the Capcom side, there's plenty of games that I have not recognized and represented yet. But let's go to the low hanging fruit. And there's a character that is possibly the best character in Marvel vs. Capcom 3, like Solo Dolo. They do everything. Ironically, they don't even let you play. They don't even let you play. But when you're on the offensive end of things, it feels good to play as another Mega Man character, Zero. Gotta add Zero to here. For sure, Zero has been in almost every other Marvel vs. Capcom or Marvel vs. games that he can appear in. He was in Tatsunoko vs. Capcom. I think we're getting Zero. Super popular and always a strong character whenever he shows up. Now, speaking of strong characters, I think that we are going to see the return of this particular character because their franchise is super popular. Now, the question is, are they in the T's? I'm not sure. Nope, they're not there. I think they might be in the M's. Maybe in the M's. I'm looking for it. There she goes. All right. I think we're gonna see the return of a Monster Hunter character. It'd have been cool if they could have put like a freaking Rathalos to fight, but that'd be cool as like a mini game. You know, if they could do like a mini game, you know, like if you're playing arcade mode, and you know, like instead of hitting a car, you're hitting a freaking fire breathing Rathalos. That'd be cool. But Monster Hunter has to be represented here because it's Capcom's I think most lucrative franchise. I'm pretty sure in terms of money. Yeah, you gotta represent Monster Hunter in some version. And maybe like the Arisen, they could do, you know, like a female and male version of the character. You know, just to mix things up. So yeah, we're gonna have Monster Hunter represented in that way. Okay. Let's go to the Marvel side of things. Another Marvel staple character that I think has to make it in, and you can see here that I am referring. I have these in reference. This is the original Marvel vs. Capcom 1 roster. This is at least a list of all the characters in Marvel vs. Capcom 2. These are all the characters from Marvel vs. Capcom 3, and we even have Infinite, all the characters that were released on Infinite, and it's easy to note the missing uh, X-Men related characters. It's just this huge glaring omission on this side. You know, it's just a huge glaring omission. But we're gonna get to that. All right, so staying on the Capcom side, another character that I feel needs to make it in here because they're cool. They've been in every other version of this. All right, we are talking about a ninja. Okay, we're talking about a smooth criminal over here. If I could just find him and relearn my ABCs, I'm talking about Strider. Strider is super cool, and a lot of people love Strider, and he's gonna be in this game because people love doing that Ouroboros move and jumping around, flipping, clinging to walls, and one touch killing you. And Strider Hero, he's just a really cool character that I think is going to be coming back to the series. Okay. Now we're gonna go on the Marvel side, and on the Marvel side, we're gonna look at characters who I feel like are just too popular not to bring back, or who people just want to see. You know, people want to see them show up. And you know what? Let's go into new territory here. I think that this character is one of those characters that Marvel wants to push. That's also very popular. Had a pretty decent series on Disney Plus. Just a character that has a lot of potential in terms of a move set and personality. And I think that means we're gonna get Miss Marvel. I think Miss Marvel will be in this game as well, um, because Miss Marvel is just a beloved character and a new character. A new character relatively relative to a lot of these other ones up on here. I think not only will we get Captain Marvel, we're gonna get Miss Marvel, and with her with the power set, hopefully from the comics, not from the MCU iteration of her with the hard light constructs that she's been making. I think that this could be a character that's very meta. Um, well, within the universe, like she'll fangirl over some of the being able to team up with her Marvel counterparts. But it'd be funny if she is even fangirling over the Capcom characters, like what they can do. So yeah, I think we're gonna get Miss Marvel. And speaking of meta, another character I think that's a shoe in to bring back from MVC3 is gonna be one Wade Wilson Deadpool. Yeah, that movie's gonna make $1 billion, and if anybody would appreciate the existence of a Marvel's Capcom 3 game, or Marvel's Capcom game, sorry, it would be Wade Wilson. Deadpool is a for sure character that's going to show up in this hypothetical game. Just too popular, too funny, and I just hope they give him a different level 3. I didn't love his level 3 move. It was a counter, so it wasn't the easiest thing to set up. But yeah, we're definitely getting Deadpool. That's a no-brainer. No-brainer. Not a staple, but not an anchor beam. That's for sure. Deadpool's a dime a dozen, but we're gonna get Deadpool, and I don't think there's a question about that. Okay, moving on. Let's look at let's just throw this in there. It doesn't have to be a rhyme or reason for this. I'm seeing it, and if there's a new character that I think they're gonna add besides Miss Marvel and Loki to the Marvel side and Doctor Octopus to the Marvel side, this is another highly requested character who I think people just want to see. And they're not going to be DLC. They're not going to be DLC. They're just going to add them off the strump. And I'm talking about Blade. Blade, I think, would be great. Add Blade and Dante and Virgil to a team. Team Sword. And just piss off everybody. Just piss everybody else off, Have everybody ice skate uphill while you just hack and slash your way to victory. You telling me you don't want Blade on the team? Is that what you're telling me? Of course you're not telling me that because you want Blade. You gotta have Blade. So Blade is gonna be in this game. I think he's way too popular of a character not to add. Now, coming to the Capcom side is another character I think they're gonna add. But you know what? I think this character is going to be DLC. So I'm kind of skipping ahead here. But I think a character that would get people interested in spending some money if they're gonna do it that way, and they're not gonna go the more, friendly consumer way. I think that a perfect character for DLC for Capcom, the Capcom side, would be Proto Man. I think it'd be cool to have Proto Man in the game, and I'm technically listing Proto Man as DLC. I will put them lower on the list. Okay, so I'll put Proto Man like down here. But I think that Proto Man in this game will be cool. I'll move him up if I can't fill him more. Don't worry about it. Sticking on the Capcom side, another character that's super popular, and I think is gonna be in the game for sure. Not my favorite play style, but quirky and it's kind of cool when you can land the hits. I think Phoenix Wright is going to be in the game. Noel, welcome. Yes, you see, I think Blade would be sick. Blade would be absolutely sick. All right, Phoenix Wright. Oh, it did the thing again. Phoenix Wright with it. Oh, it did the thing again. All right, no problem. No problem. This game this setup is resisting me adding Phoenix Wright. We know Phoenix Wright is popular. It's one of Capcom's most popular series. He's gonna be in the game, and you know what? Sticking with popular Capcom franchises, and a remake is coming out really soon of their game. Might as well go ahead and add them because love him or hate him, I think Capcom wants to push the best photographer in the business. All due respect to Peter Parker, Frank West. Frank West is going to be in here representing the Dead Rising franchise for Capcom. I think it's a safe bet that Frank West will be coming back. So, you got Frank West. Frank West is another pick I have for the Capcom side. Now, let's go over to Marvel again. Let's go over to Marvel. Another character that I think they're going to want to push, and a new character at that, I think is going to be Falcon. I think that they're going to push Falcon. He is the new Captain America. What iteration we get of him, I'm not sure. But I think that Falcon is, you know what? I'll add Falcon as a DLC, a potential DLC character for the Marvel side. But I feel like he's on the radar for them for a game like this. And I don't know what his moveset would be, but with those wings and possibly with the built-in assist with I forget the what's the name of his companion robot bird? Sometimes in the comics he actually sometimes has a real bird, a razor wing or something like that. Whatever the name is, Falcon. I think Falcon would be a good pick there. Now in terms of Marvel characters who need to come back and a staple, I think that we're going to also get a return of another Summers family member, and that's Cable. Cable was one of the most popular characters in Marvel's Capcom 2, and a lot of people, oh, it's doing it again. A lot of people were just like really disappointed not to see your boy in Marvel's Capcom 3, and people like throwing grenades, and people like, you know, they like doing the Viper shot. I think we'll get Cable back. I think Cable will be returning, and Cable was one of those top tier characters from the like the OG Marvel vs. Capcom games. Okay, so we got Cable added to the list. Yet another X-Man up on here. Okay. And Cable, who was featured in the X-Men 97 series this year, was going up against another entity, a staple MVC character. Love him or hate him, we're going to add another big body to this list. And I'm in the S's, so you should know. You can't have Marvel vs. Capcom without Sentinels. We're going to get Sentinels for sure. I don't think they'll make it DLC because I don't think they're going to make people pay for one of the characters who goes into so many of the old school top tier teams. You know, Sentinel, Magneto, Storm, Sentinel, Cable, Psylocke. Spoilers, I think Psylocke is going to be in the game too. We're definitely going to get that character. Going on to the, well, I didn't show that I added him. There you go, Sentinel right there. Okay, the Marvel side is filling out really nice. I did not forget about the Street Fighter, the 6th Street Fighter character. But I'm going to cheat a little bit because there's a character that's I know is going to be in this game, and they're not going to make him pay for. They're not going to make you pay for him again. I don't think so. But this guy's been in every other freaking versus game that you could think of. I don't want to cheat and say he's going to represent 6. I'm just going to add him of his own accord. And I'm talking, of course, about the demon, Akuma. We're getting Akuma. Akuma's always in the versus games, man. He's always in the versus games. Almost always. Oh, why does it do that? I'm copy pasting properly, I swear. Okay, we're definitely gonna get Akuma in this series. Alright, Akuma, there you go. Akuma's gonna be in the game. And you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and add another Street Fighter character, but I'm gonna add this one to the DLC because I peeked over at Miss Marvel And I feel like the Miss Marvel equivalent on the Capcom side, if you're talking about a fangirl, very popular character, uh, had an interesting mechanic in Marvel's Capcom 1 when you used her. Okay. But I'm talking about, of course, the the teenage wonder Sakura. I think Sakura is going to make it into the game. I think that we're gonna get Sakura, but I'm gonna add Sakura. What the hell? It keeps doing that. I think we're gonna get Sakura in like a DLC character because Street Fighter is already heavily represented as is. A lot of character slots. A lot of character slots. Okay. All right. So let's go back to the Marvel side of things. Another character that I feel like is being pushed. There's actually two. I'm gonna add two of them right now, and they're both on this screen. Maybe you can guess who they are. Uh, Both have featured in their own movies. Well, one featured in his own movie. The other had a series and was sort of a feature in a movie, but not really. I'm talking about two characters on this list, both with S. Not Santana Lawrence, even though Santana's a tremendous name. That's a great name. No bias. No, I'm talking about two characters here. One of them is going to be your boy Shang-Chi, who unfortunately for some fans, I think is going to be. See, now we're getting to the mechanics, the replacement thing that I was talking about before. I think that Shang-Chi is going to serve the role that Iron Fist served in MVC UMVC 3. I think that fisticuffs type character that's going to be Shang-Chi. So I don't think we see a return of Iron Fist, but I think we get a Shang-Chi. It'd be interesting if they give Shang-Chi the 10 rings to use, because then that could add some range. That's the one thing that Iron Fist as a character did not have much of in UMVC 3, like no range at all. But Shang-Chi, if they give him 10 rings, he could be that street level martial artist type dude that Danny Rand was supposed to be. But I don't think we get Shang-Chi and Iron Fist in the same game. I don't think so. The next character that I was referring to, I mean, if you have half a brain and you're paying attention to what I was saying, excuse me, it got to be Scarlet Witch. I think Scarlet Witch is going to be in this game. I don't think she's going to be DLC. I think she's going to be front and center. I think that Scarlet Witch is a huge MVC character, and I think that they're gonna be in here. They're gonna be in the game. Scarlet Witch. Boom. Scarlet Witch. And you know what? Let's stick on the Marvel side. I think they're gonna add a character not in the original roster, not on the launch roster. I think this one we're gonna have to give some extra shillings for, perhaps. But a much requested character that is going to get their own MCU series very shortly. I think that we are going to get a lawyer on the Marvel side. Capcom can't be the only side legally represented. It can't be. You know what I mean? That's just not fair. I think we're going to get Matt Murdock, Daredevil. Daredevil has to be in this series. Daredevil has to show up somewhere. Maybe they show up as DLC, maybe. I'm putting Daredevil in the DLC bracket for now. But Daredevil is like a must. Okay? Alright. So let's go back to the Capcom side. And let's go to a franchise that I love, but needs a new game ASAP. It's been a long time. Some might say this is not the character that best represents the series, but they're my favorite character in the series. So I'm gonna be biased, and I'm gonna go ahead and pick this this dude because I just associate them with the series more than anybody else, and that is of course the rival schools character, Bots. I think we're gonna get Batsu. I think we're gonna get Batsu, and I think they're gonna be just in the game, not DLC, not an add-on. Rival schools represented. We got Batsu. That's what I'm hoping for. Am I being ignorant? Yeah, maybe. But I think we're gonna get another character that I think we're gonna get on the Capcom side. Uh, and this is going to be our first character that I guess you could categorize as like a miniature, like a short character. One of those characters that not every hit is gonna hit them because you can't touch them because they're kind of smallish. They have a smallish frame, and a character that I think also needs another game ASAPally, and that is of course Amaterasu. I think we're gonna get Amaterasu in Marvel's Capcom. They're gonna return the Okami series getting represented. And I call Amaterasu, and we start hearing the storm, another version of the storm music. I think that's beautiful because who controls the elements like Amaterasu? Probably only Storm. All right, another character I think is going to be returning. We're gonna go back to the Resident Evil side of things, and it's not just because they're right here. They were one of my favorite characters in Marvel's Capcom 3. Albert Wesker. Albert Wesker will be coming back. Hopefully not as DLC and just be in the regular roster. Oh, they did it again. Albert Wesker is, a villain. And I want to emphasize this now. One of the things that I noticed with a lot of people's lists was that they were lacking villains. Lists that other people have come up with for Marvel vs. Capcom. Severe lack of villains. We want to see dream matchups, but you gotta balance things out, Secret Wars had villains, so you gotta add the baddies, not just the baddies. You know what I'm saying? You gotta have both on these type of rosters. Okay, let's go over now to our list. This is a huge list, and it's much appreciated. Again, the person that put this together, I think it's tremendous. And it's a great job that they did. Just having this available for folks to reference. And the real purpose of this is to do a tier list. You can do a tier list of the characters, rank them from however you want, S tier, double S tier, down to F tier. But that's not what we're doing. That's not what we're doing. Okay, so now we're gonna pick another character. This time, I think we need another big body character on the Marvel side. And if there's a big body character that's been missing for a minute that I know people will be excited to have return, it is the one and only Kane Marco. I think we get Juggernaut. I think we get Juggernaut. I think we get Juggernaut. Okay? And Juggernaut was a character that was in the original Versus series, like the Children of the Atom type of games. He was in there yelling, screaming with his armor moves, unfairly hitting you from across the screen with just one high punch. I think we're gonna get Juggernaut. Juggernaut's gonna come back. Now, this person may be small, or not small, but not Juggernaut size, but they definitely have the tech. They definitely have the tech to combat a Juggernaut. And I think that we're going to get a return of Jin. Jin in the Marvel vs. Capcom series. One of the fan favorites. Not always a top tier character, but people love Jin. I think we're going to get Jin. Jin's cool. We're going to get him. Now, another returning character I think that we're going to get. Forgive me, I don't know the name exactly off the top of my head. I know she was a pirate. A lot of people loved her. There she goes, Ruby Hart. I think we're gonna get Ruby Hart as well. um, coming back on the Capcom side. Ruby Hart, she's gonna throw a whole ship at you. Take that, Skull and Bones. We have a proper pirate representing a game that I think is going to be successful, and that was an unnecessary stray. Now on the Marvel side, there is a team that is super popular in the MCU. They were obscure in the for a lot of fans, but we at least got somebody from the team in MVC3. We had Rocket, and then in Marvel's Capcom Infinite, we had Gamora. But I think what people really want to see is a unique dynamic, a team dynamic, and I think we're going to get Rocket and Groot as one character. I think as one character. That's how I think it's going to work. We're going to get Rocket and Groot to show up and wreak havoc like they're doing in that other Marvel game, Marvel Rivals, where you can have one player as Groot and one as Rocket, and Rocket jumps off Groot's back and just starts firing. That's what people want to see. Okay, so we're gonna get a combo character here, big body and Groot, but you're gonna have Rocket laying traps and doing a lot of long range stuff. I think if they had Groot do like melee stuff up close, grapple stuff, twisting people up in his vines, and then you had Rocket doing the long range moves, I think that would be a cool dynamic that they could introduce into the game. I I think that'd be pretty dope. All right, now let's go over to the Capcom side again. This character, a lot of people have said from jump the first time they saw him, which wasn't in Street Fighter Six, but he's in Street Fighter Six. This character is just built for a versus game. I mean, when you see high level gameplay of this character, you might be asking yourself, why does this character have a versus series moveset in my Street Fighter game? And this character has basically been like top tier from Rip. And I think Street Fighter 6 is going to be represented by Rashid. Rashid Rashid just jump flips around like crazy. Uh, has his own assist when he calls in that tornado super. Imagine having to deal with that on top of him actually being able to call in assists. I would not be surprised if Rashid in this hypothetical new Marvel's Capcom game uh, is like top tier over it. It's like having a fourth assist. That's what people are gonna say. If that tornado stays out for a minute, and the cross ups and the chaos that Rashid brings, yeah, we're gonna get. I think we're gonna get Sandal wearing another photographer, videographer, whatever. We're gonna get Rashid in the mix. So you can have team photographer. You can have Rashid and Frank West and Peter all together. Now, speaking of Peter, there's a character that I think is just too popular not to include. I don't know what they're gonna. I mean, the move set is completely different. Like similarities, but the move set is completely different. But I think we're going to get uh, Miles Morales making his debut in a versus game. Miles is just too damn cool not to have in a versus game, and I think we're going to get Miles in this game with his. I think his level 3 might be similar to X23's invisibility, because he has that ability to camouflage. We'll get some venom blasts up close. Took you long enough. What do you mean? Oh, to get Miles in there, bro. I can't add everybody, at once. But yeah, Miles Morales is definitely going to be in the game. And for Team Spidey, I think that we're also going to get maybe as DLC. Maybe as DLC. I don't know what they have this character down as. No, not this one. Where do they have? Whoa, they don't have this character here. Ladies and gentlemen, we might have run into the first. Where the hell is this character? I mean, I was looking for. Oh! Wait! Silly me. Silly me. They go by many names. No. Oh yeah. I'm talking about Spider Gwen. I think Spider Gwen is gonna be DLC, so you can have a Team Spidey. That will get people purchasing for sure. But I think that Spider Gwen is definitely on the radar. Although I don't know if they're gonna call Spider Gwen Spider Gwen. Her actual hero name is Ghost Spider. You know, play Marvel Snap, you know. But yeah, so I think Spider Gwen will be on there for sure. Now another character that I think is gonna make it, and I think this one is pretty obvious. It's two characters I'm gonna add for the Marvel side here. We were talking about villains, right? Actually, I'm gonna add three characters because they're right in my face, so I got to. Thanos is perhaps the most popular MCU villain of all time. I don't even count Loki because even when he was a bad guy, people love Loki. You know, it's hard to call him a villain. I think that Thanos is clearly the MCU's biggest big bad, and they already had Thanos in MVCI. Thanos is gonna be in this game for sure. So okay, interesting, Ruff. So Ruff mentioned Arisham. I think that Arisham is going to be the final boss of the versus games. All the versus games have giant sized characters that you have to fight. You know, like giant characters, like Galactus, Onslaught. You know, that they take up the whole screen. I think that Arisham, the judge, is going to be that character. I think that's going to be the kind of the premise of the game. Actually, all the Marvel's Capcom games have some type of story. I think they're going to borrow from a recent storyline in the comics where Arisham, the judge, was thumbs up or thumbs down. He was judging the heroes and whether or not he should destroy their world. Um, Doctor Doom laughed in his face and was like, "You can't judge me, even though he's a celestial." Cyclops was like, "Have you met my wife?" and got a thumbs up because pure heart type stuff. I think Arisham is going to be like the big bad. Arisham and maybe some entity from one of the other Capcom games combined will be the big bad. I don't think Arisham is going to be a playable character, but I do think we are going to get an Eternals character. I'm going to go to them in a second. Now, another character I think is going to make it in if Miles makes it in. I think is going to be a character that may have a move set similar to JP in Street Fighter 6 with a lot of teleportation and attacking from portals. And I'm talking, of course, about the Spot. You got to have some obscure characters on here. And the Spot, most people did not know who the Spot was until the latest animated Sony Spider-Man feature movie. Right? I think we're gonna get the Spot, and I think the Spot can control kind of like JP and attack through portals, and maybe even set up. It'd be cool if the Spot can leave portals that if you touch it, you go to the last one he left, something like that. Although that's a mechanic I wanted for another character, which I think is gonna make it into this game. But give me a second. All right. So I think the Spot would be like one of those obscure characters that makes it into the game. That's a villain for Miles. And yeah, I think the Spot will make it. Now, another character I think is going to make it, super popular, but I hope that they change the move set for this guy. You can't have Loki without his brother Thor. So I think Thor is going to be in the game as well. I mean, I don't hate Thor's move set in the Versus series. I don't know. I just don't love it. I feel like he should do more stuff with Milner. I don't know. I feel like he should have a move similar to Dudley that he jumps up and strikes down. surprised Thor doesn't have something like that when he does that all the time. He's the god of thunder. He should be attacking from the sky a lot more. I don't know. But yeah, I want to see Thor in the game. I think we're going to get Thor. No doubt about it. Pretty safe to bet on that. Okay, now looking back at the list of characters. All right, this character was already in a versus game and wasn't the best character, but early on, a lot of people I feel like were saying he was top tier. We're gonna get a Mega Man villain. Sigma's gonna come back. Mega Man X series. We're gonna definitely get Sigma. Whoops, that's Thor. Sigma's gonna be coming back. Got another villain represented. He looks angry. There's another character I think on the Capcom side that we're gonna get who embodies anger way more than Sigma and his little portrait does. And I'm talking about. Oh, by the way, Bison I think we'll get him too, but as DLC. I'll get back to that. A long requested character. Talk about obscure because not everybody played the game. But I think we're gonna get Asura finally from Asura's Wrath. You gotta have a planetary threat. You gotta have a planetary threat, you know? And I think that Asura fits that bill for sure. Have Asura and Hulk on the same team so you can get angrier. You know what I'm saying? Asura from Asura's Wrath. Long requested, fan requested character for sure. Now I teased that Eternals character. Let me see if they have that character here. This is one that I think Marvel will push for. Uh, the most popular Eternals character wasn't the protagonist. It wasn't the protagonist, unfortunately. But the one that seemed the coolest. I don't know how the moveset will work necessarily, but I mean, any excuse to put Thena in the game. I think Thena is going to be representing the Eternals. Icarus, I mean, don't get me wrong, it should be Icarus or Cersei. But I think that the most popular one was Thena from the movie. That's Angelina Jolie's character. I think we're gonna get Thena as the Eternals representative. Again, I think that it makes more sense if it's like Icarus or Cersei, but let's call Thena a placeholder. There's gonna be at least one Eternals character on here, and I wouldn't be surprised if they're in the story of this game front and center because, like I was telling Pheno before, I think Arashim is gonna be the giant big bad that they fight. Now, in terms of pushing characters, I'm gonna go ahead and just add all four of these characters on the Marvel side because I think that I mean they got a movie coming up. We have not seen them in a versus game on their own, but I definitely think the Fantastic Four is going to be in this new game. All four of them. All four of them as individuals. So I'm just gonna go ahead and fill 4 slots up. Yep, with the Fantastic Four. They cheated it last time because they picked they basically had Super Scroll in there. They had Super Scroll in there, and he had all of the powers of the Fantastic Four in his moveset, as he does in the comics. But I think that we're gonna get all four of them. Let me see if I can find them here. There goes Mr. Fantastic. I'll show the finished product in a second. I don't know how they have them named here. We're gonna go to the H's. Look for Human Torch. There he goes. doing that. I don't know why. It doesn't like copy pasta everything smooth. Sometimes it keeps the last one that I did instead. I'm gonna put them in their own row because they were kind of bleeding over. Let's get Thing, Human Torch, Mrs. Fantastic, and of course finish it off with Sue Storm. Now in a game of 3v3, it's kind of like how you gonna be able to play all of them? You can't, which kind of sucks. Don't know how you get around that, but you'll get to choose which members of the Fantastic Four you get to pick. Now, I don't think they'll do it, but if they at least acknowledge it in the game, when you, one of the things I liked from the Ultimate Alliance series of games, if you picked certain characters, like certain combinations of characters, you got like little bonuses, and a special team name for them would pop up. You know, like if you picked Psylocke, Deadpool, like Wolverine and Gambit or something like that. Like they would be the assassins, and you got like a little bonus. I think it'd be cool if with certain combinations, maybe in the team intros, like if you picked some X Men that are all on X Men Blue Team or X Men Gold Team, it would say something like that. If you pick people, you know, from the Fantastic Four, all of them representing, or characters maybe that had to do with the Fantastic Four that weren't on the core team, like Spider Man, so like a Future Foundation type of thing. I think if it made little references like that, it'd be kind of cool. Same thing with like the Street Fighters. If you pick 3 Street Fighter characters and say like World Warriors, or, I don't know, something like that. I think that'd be kind of cool. But just so you can take a look, added all 4 members of the Fantastic Four. I think that they're going to be in there somehow. Uh, Maybe they'll all be DLC. I don't know, but I know that fans, hardcore fans, have wanted at least one of them to show up, like at least Mr. Fantastic or Human Torch. Now, because Mr. Fantastic is on here, and I already added Miss Marvel, I am tempted to add Dawson on the Capcom side. But you know, do we really need a team stretchy? Do we need it that bad? I don't know. Dawson doesn't seem that big of a character to warrant asking folks to potentially pay money for. You know, uh, but I digress. Okay, that's plenty Marvel characters. Let's take a look now at some possible Capcom characters. Are there any Capcom franchises that I have not uh, referenced? Actually, I'm looking at it right now. Okay, so I think we're going to get a Final Fight representative. I'm also seeing another character from the Capcom side. All right, I'm gonna add 2 Capcom characters here. I think that we're going to get a return of Hagar. You know, President of Earth, Mayor of Earth, rather, Mayor of the Earth. We're gonna get the return of Hagar. Another grappler character. They can make him as tall as they want. It's doing that again. It's not copying Hagar. Hold on. Okay. There we go. Mayor of Earth Hagar. Gonna add him here. And then I think we're also going to get a new character from another franchise that fans have been requesting. A game I did not play. I have not played it, but I think we're gonna get Jean from God Hand. A lot of fans have wanted Jean from God Hand to show up in the series, in the Versus series. Could Jean God Hand, you know, from God Hand be DLC? Maybe, maybe. But I think we're gonna get Jean from God. Okay. Moving on. Let's get back to the list for folks to look at. We put plenty of Marvel characters, so I feel like we gotta lean now into the Capcom characters. We have one character from Darkstalkers. I think we're gonna get another one, and let me see if they have them under the J's. one of the more popular Darkstalker characters. Talking about a kung fu fighting freaking werewolf guy. I think we're gonna get John Talbane, and maybe John Talbane is DLC worthy and not necessarily maybe not necessarily hold on. Maybe not necessarily main roster worthy, but John Talbane is a super popular Darkstalkers character, and I think fans would want to play this character. Put him with Shang Chi, and it's all hands. You know what I'm saying? All hands, and put him with Blade. You know, Blade deals with vampires and werewolves all the time. You know, a character that is not gonna make it in any way, shape, or form is King the Conqueror. I think if there's a character that Marvel might say, no, thank you, I think it'd be Kang. And speaking of characters that I think will be DLC, I think we'll get Kate Bishop, not Hawkeye, but Kate Bishop as a DLC type of character. As a DLC type of character, I think that is a relatively safe bet. And I'm gonna go ahead and add Kate Bishop to this like little sub list that we have over here. I definitely have Silver Surfer on my radar, but I have Silver Surfer as DLC, like a DLC type of character. Marvel Boy, no. If we're gonna get a Young Avengers representative, I think it's gonna be in the form of Miss Marvel, Kate Bishop, and maybe either Wiccan or what do you call it? Hulkling, something like that. Now Ruff is making reference to Marvel Snap strategies, but I'm being for serious. I'm being for serious. Another character I think that we might see as like DLC worthy. Oh no, wait, no. There's another character that I want to throw in there. It's another Spider-Man character. It's another Spider-Man character. A lot of people are saying, "Oh, Carnage." I say, why not go one better? Why not go bigger and give us somebody who can hang with the likes of like some of these Capcom characters of the higher power levels? Why don't you give us the all black wielding? No, because I don't see them bringing back Dormammu. I don't see them bringing back even Blackheart. If anything, they would just bring back, or they would just add Mephisto because Mephisto has been a meme in the MCU community for a long time. I think we get Null, another villain. Let's add, we gotta have some villains on here. Not super well known, but super powerful. I think we see like a Null. That's what I think. That's what I think. Yeah, I think we get that. Now going over here back to the list of who we're gonna get in the game. I would love to see Killmonger. I would some version of him, and I was also thinking Kingpin. I was also thinking Kingpin. Don't know how they would play, but Kingpin is a key villain, and for Miles Morales, he's a key villain for Spider Man, key villain for Daredevil. He's in there. He's in there. See, here goes Icarus right here. I was thinking about him for the Eternals, but I felt like Dina was the most popular one. Cersei was the main character, and in the comics, Icarus and Cersei are the main ones. But again, the Athena pick on my list is like a placeholder. It could be any one of those. All right, let's look Capcom side. Let's focus on Capcom side. Um, Another character that I think can make it in. See, Firebrand is one of those kooky type of characters that a lot of people hated to play against in Marvel's Capcom 3. But I don't see them making it. I think I think we get something a little bit more like obscure on the Capcom side. Definitely, I definitely thought of Dimitri. If I was Dimitri in Infinite, no, Dimitri was not in Infinite. This guy was. I forgot his name. He's a Darkstalker villain. This one that I'm hovering around over here. I forgot his name, but in the Marvel's Capcom Infinite story, he was pretty badass. I don't know if Dimitri is necessarily a villain, but if you're gonna have Blade in the game, it'd be interesting to have an interaction with a vampire, you know. But I don't know if he makes it. I don't know if he makes it. I wish we could have characters from the Onimusha series. If you've never played any of the Onimusha games back in the day, Capcom had this great, like it was like a Resident Evil but with samurai and fighting against like demons and stuff. It was really cool. The story, the cutscenes were dope. Um, but it's hard. The reason they haven't remade those games is because those Onimusha games use the likenesses of real Japanese and Asian actors, and it was like really cool for the time, the technology that they used to face scan realistically these actors and put them in the game. And because the likenesses of the real life people are tied to the IP, we're not gonna get we're not gonna get that. Now, I'm cheating here, but I see this character and you talk about characters that Marvel might want to push. I don't think we get Taskmaster, but I do think we get comic book accurate Echo as a possible character. Taskmaster in Marvel's Capcom 3, had move sets of other characters, and I know some people might want Rogue off rip. Um, I think as a Taskmaster type of character that already has some moves that they memorize, I think you get Echo. I think we could get Rogue as well, but I think Rogue will be DLC. I think Rogue is like a not launch character type of thing. I think it's a DLC type of thing. Because they gotta make you want to pay for it. You want Gambit or Rogue? You gotta pay for that. That's how I see them. Playing that game there. I went ahead and added Echo. I think they add Echo to take the place of like a Taskmaster type thing. But we need Capcom characters. Firebrand is definitely one that I'm considering. Do we have? Trying to think of what franchises we don't have represented on the Capcom side. See, Jake Muller, if I'm that's from Resident Evil, I believe, right? We have some Resident Evil characters already. I don't have Jill or Chris. I only have Leon and Albert Wesker. But if I had to choose between Jill and Chris, as a matter of fact, deep cut, problematic. Let's do it. If you're gonna have another Resident Evil character in here, and it's not gonna be Jill or Chris, is she on here? Looking for her. Yeah, yeah, she is. Let's go. Let's go with the game that fans want and Capcom refuses to freaking make. Give me Sheva. Give me Sheva Alomar from Resident Evil 5. No Chris. I know. I know. What's the logic if you're not adding Chris? I know. But you know what? You're gonna get the female Resident Evil representation right there. Protagonist, because we got Lady over here. Yeah, yeah. Bring back Sheva. Capcom got the obscure skewers. I like that pick. I'm being biased, but I like that pick. Okay, Sheva Alomar. Now, I said Silver Surfer. Fans have been requesting Silver Surfer like crazy for these versus games. I know that Capcom let some statements out, leak or whatever. That it would be hard. Like they don't know how to incorporate the board and stuff like that. I don't know. You figure out a way. You gotta make it work. You gotta make it work. But a character that I'm sure will come back is She-Hulk. She-Hulk was actually a really popular character for Japanese players. A lot of Japanese players like to play She-Hulk, and She-Hulk wasn't the worst character in Marvel's Capcom 3. But I think in terms of wanting to keep a character in the spotlight, in terms of wanting to push certain characters and just have another strong female character, another character that can break the fourth wall too, that is humorous. You're gonna have She-Hulk in the mix. I think She-Hulk is a shoe-in. I think. All right, back to the list of characters. I think that we get back Bionic Commando himself. Um, Wait, he is Bionic Commando, right? Spencer is the Bionic Commando. Right, because they have Bionic Commando and then they have another character that I'm going to put on here right after him. But I do think we get Spencer back. I do think we get the Bionic Arm moments back. That big punch is one of the most iconic MVC3 supers ever. Definitely led to some memorable moments in tournaments. I think we're gonna get Spencer, and I think we also get Captain Commando. Captain Commando, I think, comes back. You're talking about obscure. Captain Commando, you either bring him back solo or with his crew. I don't know if you give him that same assist or not, but I think he definitely gets into the game. Core roster type thing. This list is filling up. I don't know how long have we been here. An hour and a half. Good lord. Okay. All right. So we got Captain Commando. I think definitely would be coming back to the game. All right. Now I'm trying to think. Is there a like a duo type of situation similar to Groot and Rocket that Capcom could pull off? The only thing I could think of, maybe sort of, but you have to change her gameplay. It would maybe be like a Trombone. She's in mech suits and she summons other robots to help her fight and stuff. I don't know. I don't know. I feel also. Let me take a look here. How many villains do we have? I mentioned villains, and we need more DLC characters for the Capcom side. I'm gonna just swing these down one notch here, just in case you want to fill out some more. But let's take a look at how many villains, and we gotta add some DLC villains too. Can't all just be heroes. For the Marvel side, we got one, two, Magneto. Let's call them three, four Sentinels. Loki, let's call him five. Juggernaut 6. Thanos 7. Null 8. Spot 9. So we got 9 villains on the Marvel side. On the Capcom side, Jury I count as a villain. So Jury, Dr. Wyway, that's 2. Lady D, that's 3. Akuma, 4. Wesker, 5. Sigma, 6. Only got 6 because I think Asura is the protagonist of his game. All right, so let's try to focus on a Capcom villain that we don't have on here. Capcom villain. Who could be the Capcom villain that we add? This is definitely not scripted, as you can tell. I'm free balling this like everything else. They have Ethan Winters on here. First person. When you pick him, you fight in first person. Uh, Again, I don't know if Dimitri is a villain or not. And right now, how many Darkstalkers characters do I have on here? I only have 2. So you know what? Team Darkstalker. Let's add Dimitri. Let's add the Vampire. Interact with Blade. That'd be cool. We're gonna go with Dimitri. He looks villainous. If anybody is familiar with the Darkstalkers game more than I am, Darkstalkers games, let me know. I think he's a villain. I'm not sure. So Dimitri is on our list for Capcom. We now have 3. I did not bring back Amigno. I know he's a goofy type of beloved character. Did not bring back a Migno. But here we go. We got Dimitri. Dimitri is an anti-hero. Okay. Okay. That we'll take that. We'll take that. Thank you for the chiming in, 120. We will take it and just we're gonna call them. We're gonna put them on the side of the villains. Okay. Going back to the Capcom side of things. Still scrolling through the Capcom. So I'm scrolling up. I definitely could be scrolling down. There's a character I haven't added on the Marvel side that I'm surprised people haven't attacked me for. I'm surprised. We know he's gonna be in the game. The question is, see, here's the thing. I could see them also putting his sister in the game instead of him, which I think would be a mistake. I think if anything, add them both, or have similar to what I was saying with Monster Hunters, uh, the Arisen and similar to what I said with the Capcom size Monster Hunter and the Arisen, where they could probably have gender swap like versions of the character. They could do something similar with Black Panther, because that's what I'm talking about here. Marvel side definitely have to add Black Panther for sure, 1000%. 1000%. Surprised I didn't put him already. Now, see the chat. If somebody added a character, Black Panther, I just added him like that. Somebody said Pyron would be a great villain. I'm not too familiar with Pyron as a character. I don't know what game franchise he's even from, but that's on me. I said in the beginning of this that I know for a fact there's a bunch of uh, characters that I'm not familiar with. This character would be cool. Damned from the Final Fight series. He was in the background in one of the early demo stages. Like one of the first stages revealed, one of the first gameplay videos revealed for Street Fighter Six. He would be an interesting bad guy to bring into the game. He's definitely a villain. I forgot the name of the gang that he's the leader of. He'd be cool. You know what? I'm gonna put him down as a DLC. Final Fight DLC. Oh, he's a Darkstalkers boss. Okay. Maybe he's on this list. I don't know if he is or not. I'm adding Damned D, whatever they got. He has an interesting character design. I like his character design. So Damned is on the list, but I put him down as DLC down here. Put him down as a possible DLC. He's our first possible DLC villain. I think I already know who I want as the DLC villain from Marvel, but we'll get there. All right. Pyron, I'm taking, I'm definitely respecting the call, because if he came to mind, he must be a special villain. I just feel like I'm not really familiar with him. So let me see if I can find a Capcom villain that I am more familiar with. Hayato has been in other Versus games. I could definitely see Hayato being in this game as well. Holding off just a little bit on that. He's an alien that basically came to take over the night from the Darkstalkers. High Evo. High Evo is a Marvel character. That's not who I was thinking, though. That's not who I was thinking, rough, for the Marvel DLC. Yeah, you gotta put Cyclops and Hulk. Yeah. Let me add Wasp too while I'm at it, right? No, Thing. Thing is there. You got Thing, or Cyclops and High Evo, or just stop talking Marvel Snap on you. Folks, if you're looking for a Marvel Snap team to join in the chat, I'm gonna put our alliance's name. You can look up our alliance for Team Hebe on Marvel Snap. We're looking for active players. Marvel Snaps Alliance. All right. Looking for another villain. See, JP's cool, but we already got Street Fighter 6 represented. Now, the Carl Heisenberg would be interesting. That's the villain from Resident Evil 7, right? That's the family. Is he the leader of the family in 7? Something like that. We got Lady D. We got Lady D. See, look at this. We got Krieger. I don't even know what Krieger's from. He looks cool though. It's my fault. It's my fault. I'm not familiar with all these Capcom games like I should be. It's on me. I recognize that and I take responsibility for it. No one to blame but myself. Miles Edgeworth. First of all, that's a porno name if I've ever seen one. Is he not the antagonist of Phoenix Wright? Who's Phoenix Wright's antagonist? Like, who's the lawyer that Phoenix Wright is litigating against? Who is the antagonistic lawyer in the Phoenix Wright series of games? If anyone knows, if you can help me out. Oh, okay. We could definitely bring Nemesis back. For sure. That would give Resident Evil 2 big body villains though. Definitely could bring Nemesis back. Nemesis or Mr. X. Right? One of the other, big body Resident Evil unstoppable villains. Could do that. Psyker I don't know who this is. I have no idea who this is. Not one clue. Moving on. Look, I'm just looking for one more Capcom villain. There's plenty of Capcom heroes, like that I can draw from. I'm not drawing a blank there. I'm just drawing a blank on some villains. If I can find one, I will add one that I know. Did you add Mundus for Capcom villains? Who is Mundus? This is. I'm not an expert. Who is Mundus? Bad guy from what? Bad guy from where? Oh, the Devil May Cry villain. Is Mundus the number one Devil May Cry villain? Is Mundus the number one Devil May Cry? Who's the biggest Devil May Cry villain in the series? If you can help me answer that. All right, so we've gone the whole list. We looked through the whole thing, just checking. And for curiosity's sake, is Pyron on here? Yes, they are. Maybe okay. So for that Pyron character, maybe what happens is Pyron is the entity that mixes with Arishem as the final villain. You know what I mean? Oh, Virgil's a villain? Why do I think Virgil was a good guy? See, yes, I see Gil, but I don't want to add another Street Fighter character. I already got mad Street Fighter characters, with one on the way if you count Sakura. Let's take a look back at the list that I've been compiling here. While you take a look at the list that I've been compiling there, let me go ahead and snag up the I don't think it's going to happen. Oh, let me just say which one it was, and then I'll say which one I think is going to be DLC then. I was hoping for Killmonger. I think Killmonger fits both the niche, like obscure character that not everybody knows if you're not familiar with Marvel at all. Like, just because people might recognize Loki because there's a show, but outside of the movie, which a lot of people saw, I'm just saying, Killmonger is still not a huge comic book. Like, he's been around for a long time, but I wouldn't put him on the level of some of these other villains. I would like to see Killmonger, or maybe even M'Baku as another character. But DLC villain, I'm going with Robert California. Robert California, and I think you all know who that is. You should all know who that is. If you don't know who that is, shame on you for not knowing who that is. I can't find Robert California. There we go. There he is. Ultron. I think we get Ultron as the villain, the DLC villain for the Marvel side. Mundus is the king of demons. That would be a good contrast to, Blade, who fights those type of supernatural villains. I added Ultron here on the DLC side for Marvel. Let's see. I'm trying to see if there's any other characters who I feel definitely need to be in the game. If not, I might be close to calling this a wrap. It's not even. We got to get it even at least. But I've been here for almost 2 hours. Uh, filling out this list, a lot of fun. Character that I hope makes it in, I'll put them in as oh, here we go. I got two characters I can add. They're right here. Another highly requested character. Two of them are right here on this list. Right here on this list. On this part of the list. One of them will go on the Marvel side and just go ahead and add them. Nightcrawler. People have been asking for Nightcrawler like crazy. Although, I'm going to tell you right now, I think Beast is more likely that they'll add Beast than they would Nightcrawler. Believe it or not. I don't know why. But I think they're more likely to add Beast than Nightcrawler. If they're not going to have Blanca, they'll add Beast. You get what I'm saying? So I think our boy Kurt Wagner definitely could get in the game, but as a DLC. As a DLC. But the other character I was thinking is right here, Nero. Haven't Nero, if I'm not mistaken, huge requested character. Maybe too sim no, because the characters from Devil May Cry, they all have like they lean some lean more gun than sword. You know what I mean? Like Virgil, obviously sword. Uh, yeah, like they can Dante mixes it up, but Nero I want to say is also a highly requested character, and I know I didn't bring back Trish, but that's because not a lot of people play. Excuse me, not a lot of people play Trish. Air combo with Nightcrawler will have people hurt. Yeah, I mean Nightcrawler never has to touch the ground, but it'd be cool to have a character like that. Um, there is one more character I think on the Marvel side, and then we're gonna call it a wrap. That I'm gonna add because their design is just too cool, and it's very very selfish of me, but I definitely think that character is getting in. And then we're gonna just go ahead and add Nero to the DLC list for the Capcom side. Don't know what happened there. Give me 1 second. It's doing the thing where it doesn't copy pasta the way it should. I don't know why it's showing up behind. All right, so Nero, I think he'd be a DLC character, like DLC worthy. Um, on the Marvel side, the last character I think that they would put in, again, very biased, but I just love their design, and I think that the move set could be sick. And that's none other than Ilyana Rasputin. She's gonna make it, but not her brother, which is crazy. Because Colossus, a lot of people like Colossus. A lot of people like Colossus, but I think Magic will make it in. I think Magic is a character that they're in the new Marvel Rivals game. It, I mean, she has a sword. She has magic. She like literally, sorcery powers. She controls demons. She Queen of Limbo. She teleports. Like there's very little magic cannot do, and she has a transformation into Dark Child. There's so much you can do with that character. I mean, if you're not gonna bring back Jean Phoenix, I can't control it type of character. Magic could be that kind of character, where they transform into Dark Child if they have enough super meter or something. They don't just die. Um, or you could just make it an install and they turn into Dark Child or whatever. But yeah, Magic is just too cool of a character. And you know who I noticed I didn't put on the Marvel side? Oh my god! Wow. Speaking of Magic, there's somebody I did not put on the Marvel side that definitely would be on the Marvel side. Has to be. I can't believe that I didn't think of that. I'm just gonna go ahead and add them. I have to, even if this character roster is 500 deep. I have to. What the hell? Hold on while I help Victor Von Doom not be so lonely when it comes to accredited education. How the hell did I not put Doctor Strange in the mix? Gotta put Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange, Magic, Scarlet Witch, Doctor Strange, Doctor Doom, Scarlet Witch. No, no. I know I didn't put Venom. But let's see. How much Spider-Man representation do we have? Venom could be a DLC. I do have Null here. Okay, King of the Symbiotes. I got him. Okay, but Spider-Man. In terms of Spider-Man, we got one, two, three, four. We got five Spider-Man characters. I mean, what do you want? You got five Spider-Man characters. Jesus. I only got one Guardians character, which is a cheat because it's two. But if there's a Guardians character I should put on you, it's Star Lord. You would think I put Star Lord. He's the leader of the team. And his Star Lord's ability could be that, when you're about to win, he loses you the game. He starts attacking his own teammates. You know what I mean? Because he screwed it up in an Infinity War for everybody, did he not? So maybe Star Lord could be one of those joke characters. He could be the Dan of the Marvel side, Dan Hibiki. Let's get back to filling out this Capcom side. No, see, Carnage is more popular for sure. But if I'm not gonna put Venom, I'm not putting Carnage. I'm gonna go ham and add Null. You see, I went Null. I went for godlike, multi-dimensional threat character. Okay, that's what I did. Also, I'm biased against Carnage. I'd rather put Venom. Venom is super popular. Also, wait, let's take a look at this. If I put Venom in, it's because he's popular, yeah. But it's also because he's one of those like returning characters, the one of those returning staple characters. Like, how many returning staple Marvel characters do I have here? Wolverine, Spider-Man, sure. Magneto, Storm, yeah. Doom, Hulk, Iron Man, Captain America, Cyclops, staple. I'm talking about staple, like they were heavily used, effective, and popular. Gambit is more nostalgia. He wasn't a great character on his own. Like he wasn't like a top tier character on his own. Neither was Spider Man, but I mean it's Spider Man. Sentinel, staple character for sure. Cable, uh, Juggernaut's nostalgia. Juggernaut's definitely nostalgia. So those are all that I have here, and I haven't added Psylocke. I'm definitely gonna add Psylocke. Um, at one point, Psylocke is definitely coming back here. She's a staple character as well. On the Capcom side, yeah, I know. Yeah, Infinite did not do Venom justice. The fan made Venom that they've added to the Ultimate Marvel's Capcom 3, like the modding community, the job that they've done with Venom there is like better than the job that they did in Infinite. Infinite was full of a lot of problems. It had some things going for it, but Infinite had a lot of problems. And since I mentioned him and put him in the description anyway, Maximilian Dood, they're working on like revamping a fan made, modded version of Infinite, where they improve the graphics, they add characters, they change some of the mechanics to make it a better game. Um, so you could look out for that on his channel. I think, as a matter of fact, I think tomorrow or this weekend they're doing an announcement on the fan made work that's been done for the last couple of years on Infinite. Um, but yeah, I'm gonna add Psylocke to the left side. Right side, I was just looking at staple nostalgia Capcom characters. Definitely Ryu. Definitely Ryu. I'll say Chun. Definitely Chun Li. Sure, Mega Man for the OGs. Dante Virgil more than Dante. Zero Morgan for sure. Strider Hero for sure. Okuma because he's been in everything. Who else would be like staple? Gotta have him. For Marvel 3, I'll say Spencer. Yeah, so we got that going. More on the Marvel side than the Capcom side, I'm realizing. Although I feel like in Marvel's Capcom history, the Marvel characters have ultimately been better than the Capcom characters. We need Daredevil, Electro, or Punisher. I have Daredevil as a DLC for sure. Electra, definitely. If I'm not gonna put Black Widow in here, to have that like assassin type of character, I could put Electra. The only fear is that Electra, some people aesthetically might see Electra and Psylocke to be too similar, even though their movesets are completely different. But then again, if I have Spider Man and Miles Morales in here, then what the hell am I talking about, right? Yeah, I agree. Electra would be cool. Electra Blade Gambit could be Team Spoiler. Ha 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 ha. Definitely something like that. I was definitely thinking Punisher as well. Definitely on the radar. Let me see if I can get more Capcom people in here. And I appreciate all the chiming ins and the contributions. I really do. Uh, Annihilus is interesting as a character, but I don't know. I don't know if he go in there. See, Akira, a lot of people associate her with rival schools more than Batsu. But like I said, when I added Batsu, I like Batsu more, so that's why I did that. Man. Oh, Abyss. Abyss could go in there. Wasn't Abyss a villain in one of the other verses? Yeah, right? Am I bugging? Leo and Tessa from Red Earth. Oh, I don't have any Red Earth representation, do I? I don't think I do. I didn't even put Beautiful Joe in here. There goes Alistair if you want to have a villain. I didn't even put Beautiful Joe. Should I bring Beautiful Joe back? The thing is, I didn't put a small character on the Marvel side because I put him on Groot's back. So I don't have like a small character for over there. I would love for Apocalypse to have his own move set, but I don't see them like a real character. But I don't see them doing that. BB Hood is popular, and I've always wanted to see Base. Oh, I'm over here looking on my own. Sorry. I've always wanted to see Base in the game. You know, in a versus game. See, I was thinking of an Inhumans representative. Um, but instead of Black Bolt, I was actually thinking like Medusa to add another female character. I was thinking Medusa. I don't know if they have her on this list though. Not having Black Widow is kind of crazy, right? Black Widow was in the Infinite game, correct? Yep. Here she goes on the bottom next to Venom. Yeah. Mm. Kind of feel like I have to add Black Widow. If I'm gonna add a Howard Noel, I'm adding Howard the Duck. As a matter of fact, there goes Marvel's deep cut short character. Where's Howard the Duck? Now we got somebody for Amaterasu to fight. You know what I'm saying? Eye to eye. Eye to eye. How here goes Howard the Duck. Let's add Howard the Duck. Deep cut Howard the Duck. What will Howard the Duck's moveset be? God only knows. But we're gonna go ahead and add a goofy duck character to the Marvel side. And so you know it's official. There he goes. He's right next to Doctor Strange. Oh, that's the duck you meant. Oh. I thought there was a character named Howard from some series I never played. Okay. I kind of lost my train of thought here. Firebrand is a villain. People hated him though. People hated him. I think it was what was it? Apology Man is the one that made up that one touch death in the corner freaking combo with Firebrand, Super Scroll, and damn, who's this other character that he had? I don't remember Apology Man's team in Marvel vs. Capcom 3. That was annoying. That was really annoying. Elsa Bloodstone is another character that has shown up in some more recent Marvel games. Like they added it to Ultimate Alliance 3 on the Switch. She was added, I think last year. I don't think it was earlier this year. I think it was last year. She was added to Marvel Snap as a card, and she was really strong off rip. Elsa Bloodstone. I mean, she got guns. She got the supernatural stuff going too. Her blade on a team would be cool. I'm not replacing Amaterasu. Definitely not doing it. And I'm not replacing Amaterasu for Arthur. No. See, Sun Sun will be cool. As a matter of fact, yeah, is Sun Sun on this list? That was one of those Marvel's Capcom 2 characters that I like to play, even though they were like low tier. Are they on here? Oh, I don't see him. That's the monkey, right? Sun Sun is the monkey, or am I bugging? For Marvel's Capcom 2. Oh, to go toe to toe with Howard the Duck. Oh, no, I could put Beautiful Joe in there. They're similar height. There goes Sylvia. Beautiful Joe. Definitely do that. All right, let's try to wrap this up. Capcom, another character that they need to add for sure. Trying to see if there's another staple character that I'm missing from their lore, from their more iconic series. There's so many Capcom games too. Like if you look up Capcom games, oh my god, so many games. Who's the character from Dino Crisis? What's the name of the character from Dino Crisis? Do I need to Google that? Regina. Is Regina on this list? Is Regina on this list? That is a highly requested character. There goes Regina. We're adding Regina. I don't care. Regina's getting added. That was a highly requested character for sure in Marvel's Capcom type games. I don't know why I can't. Keeps adding the characters behind. Regina, if she could just like throw raptors at you and have a super where she throws bait on you and a freaking T-Rex comes and bites you, that'd be dope. Regina, boom, added her. Boom. Let's get back over here. I mean, Omega Red I didn't add. Let's see, where's Venom? I know I gotta add Venom. I know I gotta add him. Venom gotta be in there. I know. You don't need to tell me 4 times. I know. Alright, look. I'm gonna add him right there, next to Howard the Duck. We're gonna add Howard the Duck first. And then Venom. Okay? And then. Alright. Getting back to the list here. See, I mean, we can add another, like, I don't even have M. Bison on here. I don't even got Bison on here. The most iconic Street Fighter villain there is. Because I got a bunch of Street Fighter characters in here. I didn't even add Bison. I don't know who Tong Pu is. I don't know who Tong Pu is. I'm not gonna lie. I don't envy having a name like Tong Pu. Can anybody real quick educate me on who Sias is? This person over here? What character? What series is Sias from? He's right beneath Storm and above Thane. Anybody know what he's from? What series? He looks villainous. Looks kind of villainous. Anybody know? Without me having to Google it. See, I could see them adding Spectrum too. I could see Marvel pushing for a Spectrum so you could have a Team Captain Marvel, Team Marvels. I could definitely see that. For sure. But Spectrum over Silver Surfer is kind of nuts. Spectrum over Silver Surfer is nuts. Silver Surfer, boom, core roster. How many freaking characters? 6 across and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 down. 42 characters. He's a Strider villain, you say? Oh, Dungeons and Dragons? Strider villain. Okay. Okay, so Strider villain. Okay. Interesting. Interesting. Added Silver Surfer to the Marvel side. Kind of had to. Kind of had to. Hugely, bigly requested character, without a doubt. People have been asking for Silver Surfer. This PTX thing, that I think they had that in Tatsunoko versus Capcom. Huge big body character. How many big body characters we have on the Hulk on the Marvel side? We got Hulk. Freudian slip there. We got Hulk, Sentinel, Juggernaut, Groot, Rocket, Thanos. Yeah, Capcom needs more big body representation. But that's a huge character. If I remember in Tatsunoko versus Capcom, like that character was freaking huge. Like took up the entire, like way bigger than like a Hugo or a Abigail. I got Asura. I got Asura on here. 120 media. I got Asura right above Captain Commando. See? Right here. Right above Captain Commando. Asura's there. Alright. Let's try to finish this up. Try to finish. Nemesis. We need another big body character, but that's another Resident Evil character. How many Resident Evil characters do we have so far? We got Leon. We got Lady D. We got Albert Wesker. And we got Sheva. We got a pretty good representation of Resident Evil, I think. Maximal, you know, no thank you. No thank you. You know what I mean? Should we just add Tron Bond? Yeah, let's just add Tron Bond. People want Tron. Do I want Tron? No. Speaking of another character, I think that they could add. If you're not gonna bring back Bucky, or if you're gonna bring back anybody from the Thunderbolts, Sentry. I mean, that dude is super powerful. Super powerful. I don't have Hugo. But you know who I will add? He is big body. But you know who I will add? A returning character to the series. And I don't need that mecha version either. Just give me the regular old bear wrestling version. Somebody who always chooses the bear to suplex, okay, is none other than the star of Wreck-It Ralph himself, okay? Don't ever call him a low tier. Don't ever call him a low tier. It's always a skill issue. I said no more Street Fighter. I said too many Street Fighter. But you know what? He's not a villain. But he is a villain. He's not a villain. Zangief, okay? Zangief is in this game. And give him a skin where he has the mecha variant so he looks cool. Alright? Zangief is in this game. You want big body, you want a grappler, you want a problem. And you know what? This is Zangief. Give him a green hand. Give him a green hand. Give him it back. They took it away. They took it away, those bastards. You know what? We need a villain. I don't see Mr. X. But you know what? I'm going to put Tyrant T00. Because I don't think that's Mr. X, right? Tyrant T00 is not Mr. X. But I'm going to put him in there for Mr. X. More Resident Evil, more big body, and he's a villain. He checks too many boxes. He checks too many boxes. Gotta add him. I really mean Mr. X, though. All right, adding him. Okay. So just taking a look. Let's put a few more. We still need 2 like DLC-ish characters for the Capcom side. And then we will call it a day. This has been fun. I'm gonna do this something like this again, but I'm gonna rank all the MCU movies. I'm gonna rank them. Plan on doing that soon. I'm gonna rank all the MCU films. I got Proto Man in there. This character's name is Pound Cakes. That's a Marvel character. A Marvel character that I am not familiar with. Pound Cakes. Ayo. Nico Monaro will be cool, but she's very obscure for the Marvel side. Nick Fury. Sam Jackson, Nick Fury is going to be in this game. How could I not think he's going to be in this game? He's getting him. You're damned right. Nick Fury is going to be in this game. He's going to be the only character in the game that gets to say cuss words. He's going to be the only one. Nick Fury is going to be the only one that gets to say cuss words. And I realize a pattern here. I got 3 straight bold characters in a row for Marvel. You got Venom with the baldy, Silver Surfer with the shiny baldy, and Nick Fury with the baldy. In a row. Huh. Alright. Gotta fill out a few more Capcom characters. The Marvel side is pretty much at capacity. I would love to add to the Marvel side Mr. Sinister or Apocalypse. Selfishly, I'd love to see Exodus, an Omega level mutant. Telekinetic. Has been alive since the Crusades. I love that character. I could see them pushing Hope Summers. You know? Speaking of representation, because it's important. It's important. I can't act like it's not. How many people of color do we have on this? I could add America Chavez. She could be the 3rd Young Avenger. Kate Bishop. Then it's all girls though. Could add Wiccan. I mentioned him before. America Chavez, I think would be cool. Maybe. Let's see. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Necro would complement Mr. Fantastic, and that is a hell of an obscure reference because we're talking about Street Fighter 3 and not everybody's familiar with Street Fighter 3. That is a good point. And 12 would complement Echo. If Echo is copying moves or move sets, then 12 could do the same thing on the Capcom side in a way. All right. Let's just go a few more. A few more. Like Bison is super popular, man. He's super popular just as a character, recognizable. You know, people know him. They see him and they know him. You know Bison. He's knowable. Iconic. I did say Hayato will make it as DLC, right? I did. Yeah, let me just go ahead and add Hayato as a DLC, potential DLC character type of candidate. If there was another Marvel villain that I haven't added that I would add, like as a new character, not a returning character, it would be Hela. I mean, Hela's in Marvel Rivals as more than a likely character. Not that I want them, just like a likely character. Hela would be there. Um, we need we need some more Capcom. At least couple more Capcom, and then I gotta go. This has been fun talk, but I gotta go. Bill Slamkovich. That is a hell of a name. That is a hell of a name. Bill Slamkovich. This Azrael guy looks serious. What is he a villain from? Azrael. That artwork looks intense. He looks cybernetic. Azrael. What are they from? Does anybody know? Oh, Apollo Justice, but he's a good guy. Apollo Justice is not the lawyer that goes head to head against Phoenix Wright. He's not the one that goes against him. Huh. Yeah, I don't know who else to finish this up. There's definitely characters I want to see, but I tried to pick ones that I think make sense for what I said earlier. You know, these are characters that check boxes for either nostalgia purposes, their moves, potential move set, demand from fans. You know, like I would love to see Apocalypse as a character. Like I said, would love that, but I don't know how likely that is. I didn't put BB Hood. I'm gonna put BB Hood. She's popular. She's small too, but she's popular. She's one of those obscure but popular characters for sure. Adding BB Hood to the Capcom side. Boom. Updated. Boom. She's at it. Bring a Mingno back. I would love to. I would love to bring a Mingno back. I mentioned that earlier, but I just don't see it. I just don't see it. You got the Darkstalker characters. You We got Dimitri, Talbane, Morgan. I didn't even bring back Felicia. And Felicia is more popular than Dimitri or John Talbane, just in terms of recognizability, for sure. You know, I didn't even bring Ant Man for the Marvel side. America Chavez. You know what? I would love to bring America Chavez over to the Marvel side. I would like to do that. We got look. We got these characters here too. We got Amigno right here, Anacharis, two Darkstalkers characters right next to each other. Does the Capcom side have a stretchy character? I don't think they do. Amingo might fulfill that role because Marvel has a few, and they got Doctor Octopus. They got Miss Marvel, Doctor Octopus, and they got Mister Fantastic, and Venom, and no, they got a lot of stretchy characters. They got a reach advantage. Spencer got the big arm. Mr. X can kind of. I didn't add Necro. I didn't add Necro. I'm just trying to look at the characters that might have like a reach, you know, that they can reach out and hit you. Huh. I might have to add a Mingo on the Strumpf. You might have sold me on a Mingo. The question is a Mingo problematic? I don't know culturally how that sombrero plays into things. I don't. Is he problematic in today's society? I don't know. Our oversensitive society. Let's go ahead and add him in though. Nostalgia factor, goofy factor, gameplay factor. Capcom needs some stretchy characters to combat the reach advantage by all these Marvel stretchy characters. Mingo added. He did work for sure. He did. He did work. I mean, in certain teams for sure. But even if he didn't work, he was still fun to play as. Just because, like, you know, I'm picking, you know, you're over here picking Magneto, Omega Red, and then you follow it up with a Mingo. Like what? You know what I mean? Like, what are you doing with this cartoon cactus, man? All right, Capcom side is filling up, filling up. See, Blanca is such an iconic Capcom character too. I don't love him, but he was in the Capcom vs SNK. You know, I guess let him play there then. Let them make a Capcom vs SNK 3. Let him play over there. Go over there. You stay out of here. You go over there. Let's see. Just a couple more. I've been avoiding it. But to represent the series, let's just go ahead and let's just do it. Let's just do it. I don't want to, but we're not bringing back Arthur. We're not bringing back Arthur. But we added Firebrand. We got Firebrand. All right, nothing but heroes from now on. Nothing but heroes from now on the Capcom side. Let's see some heroes. Heroes we have not added on the Capcom side. Maybe from a series we haven't seen yet. What Capcom series have I not represented here? What Capcom series have I not thrown a bone here? Do I need to Google search Capcom series? Let's Google search. List of Capcom franchises. Here we go. Wait, did they add Maximo? Was Maximo in any of the other games? Maybe they don't have the rights to it anymore. That's why he wasn't in any of the other games. It's possible. Ace Attorney, Bionic Commando, Darkstalkers, Dead Rising, Devil May Cry, Dino Crisis. We got all those. Final Fight, we got that. Ghosts and Goblins, we just added Firebrand. We got him. Mega Man, we definitely have some Mega Man. Monster Hunter got Monster Hunter. Okami got her. Onimusha, already talked about it. Can't do it. Sorry, wish we could, but licensing. Resident Evil, yeah. Rival Schools, yeah. Sengoku Basara. Steel Battalion, wow, I remember that game back in the day. Great. Strider Hero, got him. We have no Beautiful Joe representation. Gonna have to add Beautiful Joe. Yep. Yep. We're gonna have Beautiful Joe. Leo and Tessa. What I added Frank West. Frank West is on here. Rough. Leo and Tessa. What are they from again? I'm sorry. Where was I going? Beautiful Joe. We're gonna have Beautiful Joe. It's funny. We don't have King the Conqueror, but we got Beautiful Joe. Somebody's messing with time. You know what I mean? Somebody's gonna be messing with time. It's gonna be Beautiful Joe. All right, boom. Beautiful Joe's in there. Okay, they're heroes, but what are they? What are they from? What are Leo and Tessa from? I don't want to go back in the chat to see. Oh, Red Earth, right? Well, out of Leo and Tessa, which is the more popular one? Could Capcom stand to have another female character to keep things balanced and fair? You know what I mean? Should we just go ahead and add Tessa? Where is Tessa? Is Tessa on this list? There she goes, right here. Tessa. Axel. Who? What's Axel from? Noel. Error. YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. Viewers will experience buffing. Oh, that's unfortunate. We just hit 5 viewers, and now I get that message. We do have, look, we have all this space that I could still fill out on this roster that'll never happen. You know, there's so much space. As I was asking, between Leo and Tessa, which would be the more popular character? Tessa over here with the witch hat. I'm digging the aesthetic. Putting her in Scarlet Witch would be cool. Mega Man series. Oh, he's from the Mega Man series. I got plenty of Mega Man. I got plenty of Mega Man. I think. Yeah, I got no 7 views, but this is 5 current viewers. Um, what do you call it? Just lost my train of thought. I'm gonna go ahead and add on the bottom here is gonna be the I don't think they're gonna make Tessa's more popular. Cool, because I like her aesthetic more. So you know what? Let's get Tessa in there. This is the first character I'm adding that I'm really not familiar with at all. But off the rip, off the strumpf, I'll add her. I like the aesthetic. And Red Earth is we did not represent that particular franchise. So let's go ahead and add Tessa. Put her with Scarlet Witch. I think she'll be cool. Putting a core roster too. Core roster. Look at that. Boom. Core roster. Not this is the DLC line. The Nightcrawler, the Hayato is DLC line. And below that is just like hell no. Below that is hell no. But maybe. There was one more character I mentioned. Oh, I think Punisher. Punisher. Out of all the characters in MCU that are associated with the MCU going forward, that might be the biggest name we don't have. I know I didn't add Luke Cage. I know that. I didn't add Jessica Jones. I know that. See, if I'm gonna add a Mega Man, another Mega Man character, I wouldn't add Mega Man X because they kind of already did that in Infinite. I would add Mega Man from the RPG series, like I got Captain Commando. He's on here, bro. He's right here next to Spencer and Dimitri. I got Captain Commando. Um, but as I was saying, um, yeah, in terms of characters in the MCU that are big that I haven't added here yet, but you see, a character that I don't want to bring back, like I don't want them to bring back Phoenix with the same mechanic. It was cool for the time, frustrating. If they're gonna bring back Jean Grey, I want them to either bring back straight up Jean Grey or have her do what she's doing in the comics now, which is cosmic level, just Phoenix stuff. She's like broken. Um, but there's no like double life mechanic type thing. My point. Like, I don't want to see a return of that type of thing. So, but they're really pushing her in the comics right now, like huge. But MCU wise, yeah, I think I'm gonna just add Punisher. I think he's the biggest character uh, that I haven't added on the Marvel side in terms of mainstream popularity or I think it's him. If I'm wrong, let me know. And as a matter of fact, let me add my first hell no because I don't think it's gonna happen. But in terms of like likelihood, I would love to see Mr. Sinister. Like I would love to see like a Mr. Sinister. I don't know what the hell the moveset would be. I just come on, you can't imagine a team of Magneto, Sinister, Magneto, or Wesker and Sinister on the same team. Wesker, who's gonna experiment on people more? You know, race to find the genes, race to find the bloodline. T virus, light work. You know what I'm saying? Mr. Sinister is like in the hell no. Oh, I didn't add Psylocke. I think Psylocke is actually likely. I think Psylocke is really likely. Let me add Psylocke real quick. And if I was gonna add Psylocke, she's more likely for like the core roster than she's not a hell no character, is what I'm saying. So I've created I've designated this last row as hell no. And I'm already adding a character I'm pretty damn sure is gonna show up. So forget what I said. Just forget what I said. Forget what the hell I said. Okay? Ignore that. Thunderbolts, Red Guardian. I got no Bucky on here. No Black Widow. No, you know what? Not Punisher. Black Widow is the biggest character I don't have on here. Black Widow is the character I don't have. But the question is, do we want Black Widow or do we want White Widow? I like White Widow. I like her sister more. I think she's hilarious. Let's go ahead and add. Oh wait, I did. No. Yeah, Colossus. See, I would love to. I would love to. I would love to. Oh, if you're looking on here, there's two Black Widows. There's the Marvel Black Widow, and then there's whoever this is, the Black Widow. I mean Natasha. And we've already seen Natasha Romanoff in a versus game. She was in Infinite. So there is precedent. Um Capcom side. I need one more DK DLC type of character. And let's make it a hero. Let's make it a good guy. You know what? There's only one rival schools character on here, so I'm gonna go ahead and say Akira is the other one. You can get two rival schools games. You can get two. But but Slim, you you haven't even represented this series. Series this. I know. But Rival Schools is a fighting game. and Akira has shown up in other versus games. So there you go. All right. So now we're pretty much filling out the hell no is not gonna happen type of list, but still possible and likely. And even though not my favorite, I mean Arthur is very possible, like very possible. Not on my wish list. But part of this wish list is about me coming to grips with reality. You don't always get what you want, and sometimes that's a good thing. All right, who else can we add to this? No Chris Redfield. I know it's crazy. We got Wesker representing Resident Evil 1. No, I understand. It's crazy. I get it. You want to hate me? That's fine. Is Medusa on here? I had mentioned her before. Black Bolt, I understand he's more known. Medusa is here. And you know what? I'm going to go ahead and add Medusa as a oh hell no, but Inhumans representative for the Marvel side. Although if I never saw another Inhuman again, I'll be fine. Just giving them so the updated list. Okay. Another Marvel oh hell no. Emphasis on hell. You know who I didn't add? You just can't put enough slots here. There's not enough slots. You know who's not on here? I know I got Howard the Duck in there as a joke. I know that. I understand that. You know who's not on here? The only character that had a series or a movie centered around them that's not on here. Can you guess? Hire from rival schools? Yeah. Or what's the guy with the white suit that he was in the Capcom vs. SNK? He's cool. He got the glasses. Yeah, but there's a character that I didn't put on here that is the only one. There's so many characters, man. There's so many characters that it doesn't. You can't put enough slots. You really can't put enough slots. There are 100 something slots on this damn thing that I found online and then added crooked squares to. You just can't have enough slots. You just can't. But Moon Knight, you know, Moon Knight had his own series. He was played by a big time actor, Oscar Isaac. You know? Definitely people missing. Definitely people missing from the Marvel side. I know. I understand. Make your own list. How about that? Make your own damn list. I'm looking at names here that are hurting me not to put. How can I make this list without Omega Red? You know what I mean? Talk about nostalgia factor. How could I do that? But I did. How could I do that? Skipped over the entire Black Order. Not one member of the Black Order. Not one. Not even Corvus Glaive. Not Proxima Midnight. Nobody. No pound kicks. It's crazy. We need a few more Capcom characters and then we're out of here. Who's the joke character for the Capcom side? Who's the low tier, get her the hell out of my game character on the Capcom side? Both sides have to waste a slot on a character like this. We know that. Is it going to be Roll? Is it going to be Roll? That's the question. Does it need to be Roll? Now, speaking about the Eternals, like I said, I put Thena there. I put Thena as the representative for the Eternals because I felt like that was the most popular character from the movie from people. But obviously, um, Icarus and Cersei are supposed to be the main characters. Yes, Kyosuke. That's what I was talking about from Rival Schools. Dan is Buns, and he is the Street Fighter joke character. He is their biggest joke character, perhaps. But Street Fighter already get enough love on him, man. I love Doom. I love MF Doom, but I'm gonna just skip the vocals. I want to start rapping with it. You know what I'm saying? I thought I had the instrumental. I don't want to start rapping with it. We just need. Oh, Servbot. Servbot is low tier, but I think if I'm not mistaken, I think Roll is even worse than him in terms of a viable playable character. That's what I think. I could be wrong. I could be dead wrong. Trish, nah. There's so much Devil May Cry on here already. So much already. Um, what is Wayne Holden? Has anyone asked? Has anyone asked him? What is Wayne Holden? That was corny. All right, we got William Birkin. We got Zig. We got Zangief, Zephyr. These are all the. This is at the end of the list. We're at the end of the list, people. Zack and Wiki. Wait a minute. I remember that series. That's a deep cut. And that could be the answer to Rocket Group. Doing it. I'm doing it. Leave a dislike if you need to. Report my channel if you need to. I don't care. We're doing Zack and Wiki as the oh hell no is not gonna happen. But this could be mechanics wise the Capcom answer to Groot and Rocket. You know, a duo, a pair. Zack and Wiki's at it. Hashtag Capcom make another Zack and Wiki game. 4 more slots. 4 more slots. And I didn't add her. What the hell is wrong with me? She's been in other Versus games. She's been a part of some of the biggest comebacks in Marvel's Capcom history. Whoa. That's another trauma. I mean, that's another Zack and Wiki. We're adding Tronbon. Potentially big body character. She's in a mech suit. All right. 3 more. 3 more Capcom characters. I didn't think I was going to be on here long enough to fill out this entire list. I didn't think so. Yet here we are. Oh, you know, Batsu is my favorite character, like from Rival Schools. But a close second, was this guy right here with the baseball moves, with the baseball slide attacks and the just hitting home runs with your freaking cranium. This guy, I like that guy. He's not going on my list though. It's not gonna happen. And we're not adding another Ryu. I don't care how popular or who this other Ryu is. There's only room for one Ryu. That's just how it works. We only got room for one Ryu, buddy. It ain't gonna be you. We need just a few more Capcom characters. I'm trying to lean towards ones that I'm familiar with, and I appreciate all of these suggestions coming in from chat throughout this. Oh, and I appreciate anybody that's been watching this live. That's cool of you. Thanks. Now Lord Sadler. That's a big body character. That's an ugly mofo. But we already got enough. Red and Evil. There's a character from Devil May Cry. I think she sells you like items and equipment. I only remember her because she was cute, but I don't remember her name. I think she has a robotic arm too. She can't be a character in this. I just wanted to give a shout out to the Devil May Cry uh, characters. You know, I think. Wait a minute. I did say Monster Hunter was the biggest Capcom franchise. Correct? I did say that. And I think that it is. Do they have this character on here though? They just came to mind. And you want an annoying character? A character that could they should treat them like a summoning character, like they call in other people to attack you. Where Oh, I don't see it. I'm thinking of the handler. I'm thinking of the handler from freaking Monster Hunter, who is super annoying. Monster Hunter World in particular. Super annoying. But if they had her knowledge of monsters and she came in and just was like summoning monsters on you, monster attacks, that could be kind of cool. Shoma. What is Shoma from? What is Shoma? Who's Bren Turner? Who is that? What series is Bren Turner from? Does anybody know? What the hell is a Bren Turner? He's not Brent Turner. He's Bren Turner. Is Bren short for something? Like, who is Bren Turner? What is Bren Turner from? Are they from a series that we have not represented on my list? Ada Wong, super popular. Ada Wong is super, super popular. And she's cool. She fits that, spy aesthetic. I don't know if anybody on the Capcom side can hang with Natasha Romanoff. Where's the espionage? You got infiltrators. Frank West could get in anywhere. Leon could get in anywhere. But where are the spies? Where's the spycraft people? EX troopers. That's where he's from. I don't know what that is. I wish that I did. I don't know. I don't know what the EX Troopers game is, and I feel bad about that. You know what? Just off the strength of the damn aesthetic, I saw this person before. I'm just gonna put them on here. I'm gonna put them on my list. They look kind of cool. They look kind of cool. If I could just undo what I just did. Undo. All right. Yeah, I'm gonna take this Azrael person. The aesthetics look cool. I don't know. It looks intense. I don't know what series they're from, but they look cool. I went ahead and added Azrael. Hopefully Azrael is not a problematic character and they're cool. Okay. Azrael. Added Azrael, got two more slots. Two more slots. All right. For our last three viewers, we got two more slots to go. We're not scraping at the bottom of the barrel of characters, but we're scraping at the bottom of the barrel of my Capcom character knowledge outside of the popular franchises that I am aware of, like Street Fighter, like Mega Man, Resident Evil, Devil May Cry, such and so forth. So this is on me. I'm just gonna go with the cool. I don't know who Deadeye is. I don't know who Deadeye is. But I'm gonna go ahead and pick this character that looks like Dace, the name, all for the aesthetic. They look cool. They have a staff. They look like they delve in magic or some type of magic. I'm gonna go ahead and pick not 10, but Dace. Not DS, but Dace. I don't know what you're from. I don't know what you're from, but you look cool. And I'm gonna pick you. And then one more character to go. One more character. Hopefully from a non-represented Capcom franchise. Hopefully from Ingrid. Ingrid, what are you from? Because you're giving off main character energy, protagonist energy. You're giving off protagonist aura. I'm not mad at this whole roster, to be honest. Buy the deluxe for them all. Oh no! The day that they announced they're doing another Marvel vs. Capcom, the day that they announced that, I'm pre-ordering. I'm pre-ordering, like for sure. I miss playing Marvel so much. I do. But just the support, it's one of those things that I'm just glad it exists. You know, and the reason I'm taking this time to do this is because it's really likely. It's really likely that it could happen. And I'm confident that the Marvel vs. Capcom collection that's coming up, the Versus collection, is gonna do really well. I think it's gonna do well, and I think that it's gonna get a lot of people to throw some money down at a game that hopefully makes up for a lot of what Infinite was the victim of. And it's not their fault. Capcom did the best. And Marvel at the time, I get it. Business, business, business. But yeah, I want a game with a lot of X-Men. I want a game with the same creativity, heart, and soul that went into the other Versus games before Infinite. Sorry to say. Um, but yeah, Ingrid. Who's this Ingrid person? Anybody know? What is Ingrid from? Ingrid is about to get searched up real quick. Let me do a quick search and see what series Ingrid is from, because a lot of the aura coming off of Ingrid. Oh wait, that's Ingrid from Street Fighter. Oh, I know her. No wonder. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. No, 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 no. We're not adding Ingrid. No, no. That's true. It is a sleeper. It is a sleeper. And I encourage anybody, if you have a Switch and you have an itch for X-Men characters, Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 is not a bad game. It's oversimplified and it's a little bit leaning on the cartoony kitty side, but there are tons of X-Men characters in there to play as, and they're well represented. And thankfully, Cyclops is like one of the best characters, so that makes me happy because that's my boy. All right, we're back on the Capcom list. We just need one more. One more. Lonely Astronaut. Oh, wait. Lord Raptor is definitely Darkstalkers. That's definitely a Darkstalkers character. And we got two Lucius. Three Lucius. What is the Lucia? What? Who are these three Lucius? And who am I kidding? I know M. Bison is who I want to add, but I'm not going to do it. Not going to do it. That's definitely who I want to add, but I'm not going to do it. Michelle Hart looks like a fan service character if I've ever seen one. But I could be wrong. I could be 1000% wrong. Who's Nick Ramos? That's the most normal sounding name out of everybody here. Nick Ramos. Just looking at aura right now. Rogue. 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 Not the Remy Rogue. Not the Remy Rogue. Not Anne Marie. Trying to find out. Yeah. Ingrid. Yeah, I know. I know. I looked it up, and when once I saw Street Fighter, I was like, oh yeah, that's that Ingrid. She was one of the new characters that they had added. I remember playing her. I think she was in one of the Alpha games too. Like one of the Alpha for the Game Boy Advance or something like that had so many characters in it for no reason that weren't in other versions. Who is this rogue? Who is this rogue from? This cartoony looking rogue next to Ruby Hart. What series is she from? Because when I search up Capcom Rogue, of course they give me X-Men Rogue. Least fave compared to Frank West and Chuck Green. Oh, Nick Ramos? Yeah, no, that was a joke. I'm not picking Nick Ramos. Don't worry, bro. Nick Ramos ain't going nowhere. I like the Rogue aesthetic, and for the same reason I picked Dace or Dees and Azrael, I'm gonna go ahead and pick this unknown Rogue from a series that aesthetically it doesn't look like I've represented by any picks on the Capcom side. And that is going to finalize my crudely made fantasy roster for Marvel vs. Capcom asterisk. You know, because is it going to be called 4? I don't know. Is it 5? Because do you count Infinite as 4? I don't know. But this is it. This is my list. It's 85 to 90. Bing bong. It's 85 to 90% serious. The rest is like there are plenty of characters missing. Sabretooth is missing. You know what I mean? There's a ton of characters missing from here. The X-Men Rogue is missing. I am well aware. But here is the list that if we got any combination of the characters that are here, any combination whatsoever, as long as there's X-Men in there, I'd be happy. So I want to say thanks real quick to the few folks that stopped by to watch and chime in. Appreciate you. If I know you in real life, I really appreciate you. If I don't know you in real life, thanks for stopping by. And if you're watching this as later, like on a VOD or whatever, watch it at 2x speed. It's fine. I won't be offended. I won't even know. But this is my list, and any fans of the series of Marvel versus Capcom, I'm sure in your heads you're doing this as well in hopes that a new game comes out soon, and I think we can see that. I think we will see that. And once again, we'll be able to ask that question: when's Marvel? Because I miss asking that question. All right. So thanks everybody for watching. I'm gonna say goodnight, and y'all be safe out there. Stopping the stream here. You can go ahead and give a follow or whatever. For in case I do future stuff. Next thing I'm gonna do, like I said, is I'm gonna be ranking the MCU movies, but that one I'll give them more of a heads up, like more than a week in advance, so people know I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna rank the MCU movies, and that's MCU movies up to Deadpool and Wolverine. And I'm not we're talking about from Iron Man to Deadpool Wolverine. I'm not going before that. I'm not going to the X-Men stuff. I'm not going, and it's only MCU. Only MCU. In the future, maybe I'll do more. But all right. Okay. Y'all be safe. Later, y'all.